Hi everyone! So last night on my social media I put a post out there asking you what you would like to see from me, and a lot of you asked to see my entire colouring book collection, current collection I should say, because there's some over the years that I've given away or what have you, so it's not every single book I've ever owned, but it's the ones that are in my current collection at the moment. So you wanted to see the collection and you wanted to see the pages inside there as well. Now I do have a video going through every single page I've ever coloured, starting from 2015 when I first began this hobby up until 2025. So you can go and watch that if you just want to see the pages, but if you want to watch me go through the books today and see them again, that's more than fine too. So thank you for joining me. Let's begin. So the first artist I have pulled off the shelf is Lena Filonenko. All of her books are spiral bound and I love that. They're also all one-sided, so just perfect for me. Spiral bounding, one-sided, brilliant paper, just ticks all the boxes. So we'll go with this one on top. They're not in release order. I couldn't even begin to remember, but we'll just go for this one. So this is From the Heart, and it's a stunning book about fantasy, fairies, witches, mermaids, women's portraits, animals, and of course they're all hand drawn by Lena, so I absolutely adore her work. It's something that I think is very easy to colour, you know, when you're just trying to decide what to colour, because a lot of her work has both plain line art and like this, like semi-grayscale. So I'll just go to the pages that I've coloured, otherwise we will literally be here all day and all night if I just go through every page. But I do have reviews for all of these books, I'm pretty sure, that I'm going to be showing you today. So you can just type the name of the book into my channel and you should find a full book review for it. Also, disclaimer, I may have only coloured 1 or 2 pages in some of these books, and that is because I always like to colour a page before I do a book review, and then sometimes it gets put back on the shelf and I don't look at it again. Other times I do get it out and I carry on. You know, there'll be some books that have more coloured pages than others because I prefer them. That's just normal, isn't it? But anyway, here we go. So this is the one that I coloured. I can't remember what I used, but looking at this purple gradient, it's looking like Prismas, and most of the time I colour with Prismas. They are my favourite and preferred pencil, so you'll see a lot of that. But yeah, I really like this one. It's quite pastel, it's quite soft and delicate, and I quite like the water here in the background as well. It's funny, I don't really remember colouring it, and I'll look back at it and I think, oh, that's actually really nice. I coloured some water the other day and I think this one actually looks better. So let's see if I've coloured anything else in here. Again, it's such a shame. It's such a shame that I haven't coloured, but I will. You know, these are why, the reason I've kept the books that I have currently is because I want to colour in them. It is just finding the time. And you might have known that I've got a lot going on recently. Well, the past couple of years actually. I've been caring for my nonna, and she sadly passed away last month, and it's all preparations for the funeral and things at the moment, and it's a bit hectic, and that's why I'm sort of using this channel again as my escape from all of that, and just to put my mind on something else. So I'm hoping, this is why I put the post on last night, I'm hoping that I'm going to have more time to dedicate to the channel now and to do the kind of content that you want to see from me. I am desperate to get to 100,000 followers. We're at 87 now, something around there, and it's not far away, but it's probably going to be another couple of years unless, you know, this massive surge of subscribers comes in. And I want to do something really special for 100k. I want to do a big giveaway and all kinds of things I've got in my mind. But again, I am going off on a tangent. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Any one of you subscribing makes a difference, so I really appreciate that. This one is Hello Spring. So let's see what I've done. Oh, this is a nice one. I don't feel like it's that long ago that I did this, maybe even last spring. I love the patterned Easter eggs. I love the tulips as well. Look at this texture that I've managed to create on here. Sometimes I shock myself and I look back at my stuff and I think, did I really colour that? And that's not to be a big head or anything, because I'm certainly not as proficient a colourist as so many more of you out there. But sometimes I do shock myself. Oh, I love this one. I think I did this as a full colour along as well. So if you have got this book and you want to colour this with me, I'm pretty sure I did. Now I say it, I'm wondering if I didn't. It may have been another page that has blue tits on. Anyhow, there is a page from Lena that I coloured. I think it's a more wintry page actually. and it has birds on it. I'm just making sure it's not in this book. No, it would have been a winter, wouldn't it? And this is Hello Spring, so doubtful it's going to be in here. Right, let's try Magical Seasons. This is the fall and Christmas colouring book, so maybe it will be in here. So Magical Season, again, these books beautiful. They've got really soft touch covers. I love everything about them. The production is fantastic. It's exactly what I want in a colouring book. This one, you get it double-sided, but it's the same image. So if you wanted to colour this one with markers, it wouldn't really matter if it bled through to the other side, because you've got another copy of it here. So you've got a grayscale and you've got an outline on this one. So they're repeated through the book like that. Ah, this was it. I've got a colour along for this. So we've got, I usually turn birds into blue tits, and I don't know why. I think I just like the colour of them. And we've also got some sparkly gold glitter. Hopefully you can see that. Little bits on there. Love this one. I love the sky. I love the snow. I think the snow looks really crunchy and cold. Yeah, it's a good one. Not sure if I've done any more in here. So I'm going to be pinging through this quite a few times. Oh, I've done this Halloween one. Not my best work, I would say. The cats, I struggle with fur. I really do. The cat fur is not great. And I don't know what pencils I used. This doesn't look like Prisma to me. Or there's some Prisma, but it's something else. I'm sure it is, but I'm not liking some of these blends and stuff. But anyhow, let's see if I've coloured anything else in it. Okay, that's all I've coloured in that one. Then we have Lovely Year. So this one goes right from spring to winter. It's the whole year through. And I think it's all, yeah, all the different changing seasons and things like that. So we'll see what this one has in store. Yeah, if I ever don't know what to colour, I'll always pull a Lenka book out. Oh, this is a whip. Love that strawberry ice cream. I love the mint. Look at that. I swear to God, I'm not being big-headed here. You should know me by now after 10, 11 years that I am the complete opposite to big-headed. I have zero self-esteem. So when I say that something looks nice, it surprises me. I love this, like raspberry, whatever sauce it is that's around the ice cream. That's really nice. I need to finish that one. I don't know why I gave up on it. Maybe I just put it back and forgot about it. It's probably it. Oh, nope. I must have coloured something from this book if I reviewed it, which I know I did. I feel like I'm missing something, I'm sure. Let's start from the back. You might want to grab a cup of tea or, you know, some kind of sustainable meal for yourself, because we may be here some time. I feel like I've coloured something in this though. Surely I didn't just start a page and then review it. I mean, I have done that on occasion, but very rarely. It's usually when I don't want to really spend time colouring in the book and it's one that's been sent for review, and then I feel obligated to review it. But I don't particularly want to colour it. But again, that's why you have Colouring Channel as well, is to show people all kinds of different books. It's not just my preference of books, because your preferences might be totally different. I must have just started that one then. That is going to stay out because I want to finish that one. Then we have Victorian Grace. So obviously this is going to be all Victorian style stuff. Please tell me I didn't just start a page. Let's have a look. Come on, Claire. You know what I'm thinking of doing is getting my lives back. There's no way I've not coloured in here. That's really annoying. I'm thinking about starting my lives again, and maybe we can get some of these pages coloured because they're beautiful. But then I also think some people might not be able to access this book, they might not have the book, they might not be able to spend the money on the book, and then I think maybe I should just revert to something really easy like a Johanna Basford, you know, that everybody can get hold of. I am stunned that I've not coloured in this book, because despite what I said earlier about, you know, if I'm not really into a book, I'll probably won't colour it for review or whatever. This is not the case with this book, so I have no idea why I've not coloured in that book. We've got to change this. And finally from Lenka we have Soul of Gaia. So this is brilliant. It's all sort of what does it say, shamans, mystical portraits, that kind of thing. Gaia is like a god, or is she the earth or the universe or something? Anyhow, this is a beautiful book as well. The illustrations are gorgeous. Please, God, say that I've coloured something in it. Oh, right, so we've got a tree man, again, with blue tits. You'll see them everywhere. It's nice. I quite like the greeny brown, mossy colours that I've used here. They're not your usual greens, like, say, these ones. So that's quite nice. Little acorns. I like these little oak leaves. That's pretty. And I haven't coloured anything else, have I? No. I'll let myself off if I've coloured one, because I know I would have done that for review. The thing is, when you've got so many books, and I'm not saying this to brag at all, but when you've got so many books, sometimes ones just get put to the side, and I've always got new books coming in for review, and it's just hard to keep up. And also, like I said, with my grandma and stuff, I've had no time, really. It's amazing that I've got the videos out that I have for the past year, but yeah, it's just a case of not having enough time. So anyways, let's move on to the next artist. So the next one is Sarah Richter. I also have a third book by her, but I think I've lent it to a friend, I'm pretty sure. I either lent it to her or gave it to her as a gift, I can't remember, but anyways. So we've got Nachtschwärmer. Again, I've done reviews of all these books, so you'll be able to find out a bit more about them. I can't remember what this means, night something. And again, this is a beautiful spiral bound book, gorgeous paper, one-sided, hand-drawn images, no AI to be seen. I don't have anything AI in my collection. As far as I know, it's getting better and better, so it's harder to tell. Oh, this is fab. So this is Spyro. I was obsessed with this game. I say was, like it's a past thing. I am obsessed with Spyro. I grew up on this game in the 90s. I got a PlayStation. My dad got it chipped, which meant sort of pirated. So we could play pirate games. I don't think we're going to get into trouble like 30 years later. But anyway, yeah, I love Spyro. And it's only as recent as maybe 6 months that I've been playing Spyro, you know, so I still play it. I love it. I wish they'd bring another one out. Anyway, love this one. Love how everything's turned out. I love the lava cracks. And I think I did this all with water-based markers. These look like alcohol markers on Spyro, but this looks water-based. Maybe, no, it might be alcohol actually. Tell you what, let's have a look on the back. Yeah, so it looks like pretty much all alcohol marker. Don't know where I got the water-based thing from. I don't usually use those. That's that one. And then we've got Dunkelbunt, which again, I can't remember what it means. I have coloured that one before. I think I bought this as a PDF, or maybe it was a freebie, and I have coloured it. So I'll try and find a picture of that, because I know I've coloured that one. Oh, so this is another fantastic one. The Bride in Her Coffin. What do I love about this? I love the silk lining of the coffin. I love the stonework and the lettering and the cracks and things that are inside. I love the pop of red and blue amidst all of the greys and the grungy colours. I can't remember if I drew this brick. No, I don't think I did. I think this brick texture in the background was already there, but then I did the whole smudging thing and making shadows, and she's also got some little sparklers on her face as well. Again, don't think I've coloured anything in that, so we move on to the next artist. Now we've got Mariola Budek, and I know that I've coloured quite a few of her illustrations, but I don't know whether I've kept them in the original binding or not, or whether I've put them in a folder somewhere. So we'll see. This is Hair Inspirations. Again, fantastic paper. There's all the hairstyles that you get on the back there. So if you're wanting to practice colouring hair, I don't think there's anything better for you to try. Let's see if I've... Oh, yes. So I do have a full tutorial for this. It's... Oh, there goes the binding. It's called How to Colour Auburn Hair. So if you type that in, you'll find it. Don't particularly like the skin divots that I've done here. They look a little bit gaunt. But anyway, I love this auburn hair. And again, I look back at things and I think, I don't actually think I could do this again now. I'd have to watch my own tutorial, which I have done. So yeah, that's a nice one. I don't think there's anything else I've coloured in there. No. So with Mariola's books, I don't know if she even produces actual physical books anymore, but you would get all of the pages loose, and then you get this this binder clip thing, and it's a little bit awkward, but you sort of slide all the pages in, and it does keep them together until you start opening it, and then of course it's going to pop out. But you sort of get it on there and then you slide it right down to the bottom. Try and keep it tight to the pages, unlike this that I've just done. Like I said, it's a bit fiddly, but once you've got it on, it does keep them quite nice and tightly bound. Then we've got Cute Friends. So I'm going to carefully do this, so I'm trying not to pop the binding again. I am certain I've coloured something in here. Beautiful, beautiful work. Oh, come on. See, I may have taken the individual sheet out and put it in a folder. Ah, here we go. So this is kind of like a Peter Pan situation, at least that's what I thought. He kind of looks like a male sort of Tinkerbell. She looks like a human Tinkerbell. Oh, there goes the binding. And you can see that I have coloured his wing, well, I've painted his wings with KJ Design by Karen Ghost Glitters. I absolutely love those. So there goes the binding once again. I'm going to have to do that afterwards, otherwise we'll be here all day. Set of Art Gold. I'm not sure if I've coloured any in here yet. I know I haven't because it's all, oh, hang on. It's all bundled up, so I've definitely not coloured anything in it. Like I said, it's just time. So let's see what the actual book has. All of these different illustrations. It looks like this. Like I said, I'm not sure if Mariola's still producing physical books. Nope, haven't coloured in that one. Again, I've got so much amazing, beautiful art to colour in. I shouldn't ever need to buy another colouring book, but you know how it is. Another one comes out and you get that, oh, I need it kind of feeling. Then we've got Set of Art. That's not Mariola's. I think I've just, or is it? No, it's not. I've just put that in there for some reason. Set of Art. I have got a tone tan paper one. Mariola must be some of the closest portraits to actually realism. She is so talented. I've definitely coloured from this as well. I know I have, but again, it might be in the binder. I'll get my binder out at the end and we'll see. But I'm pretty sure I've coloured one of these. We'll find out. We'll find out. Got that tone tan one, beautiful bunny. And then we've got a different artist. So let me just shift this away. Next artist is Lika Lendel. And I think this is the only book of hers that I have. Again, it's got that same binder clip as Mariola's books. Oh, there she, look how beautiful. Lika Lendel, professional artist from the Ukraine. Oh, fantastic. So let's have a quick look. Once again, if you want to see any of these books in their full glory, just type them in on my channel and you'll find my review. Oh, this is like a water, I'm gonna have to take this off. This is a watercolory one that I did. I think I did this entirely with paint, and I'm not even anywhere near proficient in watercolour. I am definitely an amateur. I'm definitely a beginner. But I really like how this turned out, actually. I think it's quite soft. It's quite painterly, obviously, and quite loose. You know, normally I want everything to be flat and seamless and beautiful and perfect, but this is very much a loose style, and I really like that, actually. I think it's nice. So there's loads more in there. Again, portraits, love a portrait. But yeah, I was saying about bringing my lives back earlier. I don't know if that's something that you might be interested in watching. I know a couple of people have messaged me since I put that post on yesterday, just saying that they would like me to bring lives back. It's going to be one of those things where I don't want to attach myself to it. Do you know what I mean? Because then I just won't do it. You know, it will feel like too much, and it will feel like pressure, and it may have to be that I just go live when I go live, and it's not like a set in stone time and date, which is kind of annoying, because if you never know when it's going to happen, you can't plan for it. You can't plan to be there. But yeah, it's one of them where I'm a bit like, oh, I like doing it when I do it, but thinking about doing it is hard. Anyway, next artist. Oh god, it takes ages to actually get the books out of the shelf because they're all so tightly packed in. Right, this one is Anastasia Elly Koldareva, another absolutely fantastic portrait illustrator. I have every single one of her books, these square format books, apart from one. Full Masquerade is her most recent one, and she has stopped selling printed copies. I am beyond gutted that I cannot finish and complete my collection because I love her artwork and I just don't like having one missing. So if you know of anybody who is selling a copy of Full Masquerade, plus it's like the most me of any of her books. It's all quite spooky circus and that kind of thing. I'm just gutted. Anyway, let's move on. So we've got Metamorphoses, and I am certain, once again, certain that I've coloured something in each of these books. So this is my coloured page from Metamorphoses. I adore it. Love the green skin, love the doll face, the like spooky sort of shrunken head parasite thing that's growing off of this girl's head. The roses, the black background, I love it. I love the lace as well. I think I did that with gel pens because it's got a slightly raised texture. So yeah, love that one. Then we have got Memories. Now this one, if I remember rightly, yes, I did it as a mixed media piece. So I don't often do this at all, but this one's got washi tape at the top and the bottom and little washi bits here and there, and little stickers and elements that I've stuck onto the page. I've also used watercolour pencils, I think, to colour these two things. I think these were pencil. And then I've made the background look a little bit worn and aged, as if it was a scrapbook of someone's travel diaries. You know, that's how I like it. It's totally different and unusual for me, but I like it because of that. So that's Memories. Then we've got Listen to the Wind. Straight away, first page was coloured. I coloured this to be a little bit like Castiel from Supernatural, my favourite ever character. I just love him. And I just imagined him having these rainbow wings after he came out on the third to last episode of the series. Yeah, he's my little gay angel and I love him. So that's Castiel. Pretty sure I've done another one in here. Yes. So this one is, it was just a girl holding, I think there were 3 balloons on here actually, but I blacked out the background and just left a single balloon and created, did I create the mask? I think I did. She was obviously wearing the ruff and she had her hair up like this, but I created the sort of outline of the white paint on against her face and then obviously drew on the It character features. But yeah, again, really love this one. Simple for me is best. There's only a few colours on this page really if you look at it, and I love a limited palette. I think it just makes the best colouring pages. So this is my foil balloon, which I believe someone was asking me for a tutorial. I don't think I ever did it because it was another one of them where I'm sat watching telly and I've got a reference picture on my phone and I'm constantly checking back with the reference picture and trying to put colours where it looks to be on the reference picture, and it's not something I don't think I could teach as a tutorial. It's just something that I was sat there constantly back and forth to try and achieve it, and I think I've done pretty well. It's not a perfectly realistic looking foil balloon, but it's not far off. I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, anyways, that's that page. Then we've got Ecliptica. And there we go. So this is like a steam. Gosh, look how much they have been squished on my shelf. It's actually imprinted loads of the pigment on the other side. Yeah, steampunk style girl. Gave her rather a nice cleavage. And she's got green hair and she's got a gun and she's badass. So yeah, I like that one. This is where I tried to do purple skin and it went wrong. I don't know if this has ever been shown on my channel, or maybe it was when I was trying to do it but gave it up as a failure. I can't remember, but yeah, hate that. Absolutely hate it. It needs to go in room 101 and never be seen again. Right, Blackbird's Song is the next one. Here we go. So this is like Nefertiti, I want to say. Probably completely wrong, but anyway, she's Egyptian. I've used loads of KJ design by Karen Gold paint. There we go. So you can see that flash on there. I actually really like the fur, which is unusual for me and my fur. I think it looks pretty good. It looks wild, which is what I wanted. I didn't want it to look perfectly brushed, combed fur. I wanted it to have that look a bit feral, you know. And I love the skin, actually. I find it really hard to colour black skin. I don't know why. It's just getting the colours right, and then I don't want to do it wrong and like upset anyone. Does that make any sense at all? Like, who would I upset with that colouring? I know, nobody, but I just feel like I can't do justice to it. But I think here I've done quite well, because I can see different tones in there. I can see more of a orangey tone on the neck, a bit of light on there, and then I can see some kind of like greyish purple on the cheekbone. And yeah, I think it's actually all right. I'd quite like to colour in the circle behind. I don't know why I didn't. Probably couldn't think of anything to fill it with. But maybe some hieroglyphics or something could work. I think that might be it in this book. Yeah. Then we've got Amaranthine. And yeah, this is the one I've coloured. I really like this one. She looks just like a girl that you would see out and about. You know, she's not got a mystical appearance, I don't think, like a lot of Anastasia's other portraits. I really like this one because I painted the centre of the sunflower, so it's got texture to it, and it was just the only way I could think to try and create this layered look, this dense packed centre of a sunflower, that if you look at a sunflower you'll know what I mean. But I really like this. I do have a tendency to put a beauty spot on my women. I don't know why. I just like it. I love, again, just the limited palette. The yellow and the blue just pops. And I've reused the same kind of orange tone on her lips as I used on the sunflower. Love the hair as well. I mean, it's not... I'm just going to be self-deprecating this entire time, and I'm going to get loads of comments from people saying it's beautiful, blah, 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 which I really appreciate. I'm not taking the mick, but I only ever see the faults with my own stuff, and I'm sure a lot of you are the same. So yeah, it's actually quite nice. I like the different tones in the hair. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. And I like how I did the eyes, because it kind of looks like a sunflower in her eyes. Can't actually remember doing this much. I think I did a tutorial of how to colour sunflower though. I might have used this book even. But anyhow, there we go. That's Amaranthine. Then we've got Nocturnes. See, this is another reason why I probably haven't coloured as much in these books as I want to, because she was banging them out at a rate of knots. You know, there was a new book every 5 minutes, which is amazing because I love her work and I couldn't get enough of it. But at the same time, I'm like, give me a chance. So this one I'm not happy with. Surprise, surprise. I'll tell you what I am happy with first before I do that. So the lace, I quite like the lace. I think that looks quite realistic. The skin's not too bad. It's a little bit jaundiced, but it's not too bad. I love the cat though. So this is like a Siamese skinless, not skinless, that'd be horrible, like a hairless cat, right, furless cat. So I quite like that texture because I've obviously used French greys, and then I put a little bit of blush pink in there as well, and I think that's turned out quite nice. What I don't like about her is the mouth and the eyes. I've overdone it with the eyelashes for a start. Her eyes, I can see where I've put white pen around, so I must have gone crazy with the eyes by accident and then tried to shift them back. The pupils aren't the same size. She looks a bit boz-eyed, and then the mouth is just a black hole, which no. I do like the collar though. I've done quite well on the metal work there. See, I'm trying to be kind to myself. I'm trying to listen to my tattoo. If you don't know, you probably know. I don't know if I can even get it on here. So I've got a tattoo that says be kind to yourself. Had that for years. I don't listen to it. But anyway, yeah, the hair's not too bad. I quite like the violet kind of colour. Anyway, that's that one. Not done any more, have I? No. Then we've got Serenity. Oh, love this one. So I actually have, where is it? Yeah, I can show it to you. I have a book that I had made, like my portfolio of my favourite colouring pages. This was 5 years ago, if not more. And I coloured this and I really, really liked it. I love how the skin turned out. Again, with the limited palette, you've just got that pop of blue in the eyes, the pop of orangey red vermilion on the lips. Love the hair. This is one of the only times I've managed to get a kind of light blonde hair colour on paper. It's really difficult. Like, I think everything goes out of my head as soon as I do it, because I'm thinking, I bet I couldn't do that now. but I probably could. So these are actually stink flowers, which I didn't know that apparently they reek. So kind of puts a dampener on the illustration a little bit, but I will show you my portfolio book in a minute. Right, so that's that. Let me just get that. It's up here. Please don't fall on me anything. Here we go. So this is my portfolio book. Pretty sure I showed this book on my channel at one point. It's got like a Perspex acrylic glass cover. It's really thick, and I had it printed and put my favourites in. So that's the one you've just seen. That's another one, and that's a big one from Magical Jungle. It's hard to see. It's a big book. So this is my hand. This is how big the book is. That's another one that I did. I really like the skin on that one, and the eyes as well. I think that was following a tutorial from Helen Elliston, who is the master of colouring effects. This one from a Hanna Karlzon book. You'll see all these in a bit. I don't know why I'm spoiling it. But yeah, it's a really nice book. I'll just flick through it quick. So you can slow it down if you want to. But these were just some of my favourites that I'd done at that time. Probably be different now. Can I zoom out a little bit? It might have gone a bit of a weird colour when I zoomed out, but that's just the lighting messing up. So yeah, I'll just flick through it quickly. That's one I've done from Mariola Budek. So one of those weird bindy type page things, that's one of those. So yeah, love that one. That's one of my absolute favourites. Love that because I actually added in a photo of Janet Leigh. I got that one from Hannah Lynn. Got that one from Kirby Rosanes. Hanna Karlzon, a couple on there. These are all glossy, that's why you can see the light glare. Then we've got Johanna Basford. I've got a full colour along for this. I think it's about 11 parts or something ridiculous. Love this one as well. Oh, love that. Again, I look back at it and I think, really? Did I do that? This is another one from Christina Nowak. I don't particularly like it, but I don't think it's my fault. I like the lilies. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a bit. There's another one from Hanna Karlzon. A couple more there. Then we've got Yalza, we've got Kim White, Johanna Basford and Momo Girl. So yeah, that's, oh look at that. I think there's been some mould up there. I need to give that a good clean. That's not great on camera, is it? Right, let me put this back. Oh, there we go. Let me zoom you properly in again and we will continue. Let's shift things out of the way. Right, next book from Anastasia Koldareva is Mysteria. Catch your breath, Claire. I'm so out of breath. I'm not even doing anything. It's terrible. Right, this one I did as a challenge to myself to try and colour sepia. But I always do like, even though I have like limited palettes, I always do like to have a pop of something somewhere. And I think when you've got a person on the page, the pop should always be the eyes. That's just my opinion. Again, the bird fur is it's not too bad actually. It's not too bad. It looks a bit ruffled. I think all of the animals that I colour are always just going to look a bit dishevelled and like they've been dragged through a hedge backwards. That's just the only effect that I can do. Oh, there's another one. So this one's like an underwatery one. There's a bit of silver dottage to the background. They're quite nice, them fish. I love that hair. I think I did a tutorial for this. Type mermaid hair into my channel, you'll find it. And this one, I've done quite a few in this book, haven't I? Again, this one's really nice. I've used acrylic, I think, for the background because you can see all this texture. I like this blue. This is like a steel electric blue. That's quite nice. I've not used that combo for a while. And I think the pink, the yellow and the blue as the main colours just pop. I am planning to do a video where I kind of explain why I choose certain colours and where to put them on the page. If that is something you would like, do let me know. So this was in the portfolio that I just showed you. And yeah, again, really like it. I like the berries. I like the hair. The red sticks out to me on this. And I think that's why I chose the blue for the eyes, because they'll pop together. Yeah, it's really nice. So that's that one. And the one final book for Anastasia is Exotica. Again, these are not in release order. And I don't even know if they're available anymore. Oh, this is a good one. So, talking about colours popping, we've got a red solid background. I did this with the Lefranc Bourgeois matte emulsion paints. Let me show it to you. Also, I'm sorry for saying I'm really conscious that I'm doing that. This is what I used. Lefranc Bourgeois Flash Emulsion Vinyl. It's a beautiful paint. It is so matte and it is so flat. I love it. I've got quite a few colours, not enough. I've only got about 5, and I think they've got like 70 different paints, so that's another thing I'm trying not to think too much about, that I don't have the entire collection of that, because I'll drive myself mad. Yeah, so again, contrast, red, blue, green, blue, just beautiful. And I always match my character's eyes to something else on the page, because that just ties it all together. So yeah, really like that one. I think that's it for Anastasia. If I had full Masquerade, I'd be able to show you, but I don't, and I'm not bitter. Next in line is some random artist books that were wedged in with the others. We've got a beautiful book. I love this. De Natura Deorum Hellas. It is all about mythology. Pretty sure it's Greek mythology, but there's some fantastic illustrations in here, and I know that I've coloured more than one, so we don't have to guess this time. Beautiful, beautiful book. Slow this down if you want, or again, like I said, just type the book title into my channel, you'll find the full review. Here's Mel Gibson. It's not, it's Poseidon, but when I coloured it, I just thought, surely that's Mel Gibson. Like, just look at his face. Tell me that's not Mel Gibson. Again, really enjoyed colouring this. Look at the flashes coming out. I love how I've made it so that the hair looks like it's literally floating in the water. I think I did a good job on this one. Yeah, love it. What else have I coloured in here? I know I've done another. Oh yeah, this one was not too long ago actually. I'd say within the past year. Really happy with this one actually. When I look at the glow of the fire, that does look quite real, doesn't it? Not too sure there'd be fire glow here because the hammer would be stopping the glow, but let's not look too far into it. Yeah, really like that one. I think it's Hephaestus, that guy. Bless you. Hephaestus, bless you. Have I coloured any more? I feel like I have, but maybe I started this one. I've just literally started it with the skin, and for some reason not continued. You know, when I first started colouring, maybe for the first like 5 or 7 years, I never had any whips. I used to start a page and finish a page, and there would never be anything left undone. I'm noticing more and more that I've got loads of whips. We've got Sweet Kawaii by Succumbs. This is Emily Jarridge, I think her name is. Another beautiful book. Got to flip through it this way. This is cute kawaii style illustrations. And this is the one I've coloured. I do really like this one. I think sometimes just leaving the background white really helps to make things pop. If there wasn't all of these sweets and things, it probably would look a bit strange just being white, which a lot of my work is. I leave a lot of white backgrounds because I'm too scared to do backgrounds. And then I look back on them and I think, oh, that's actually looking a bit empty, a little bit like it's floating on the page. But anyway, did this with alcohol markers. I like the sort of kawaii shine that I've managed to get on the eyes and the cheeks. And yeah, it's pretty nice. And then we've got Fantasia by Nicholas F. Chandra-Wianata. He also did Serene, which is one of those books that everybody wants that went out of print, and it's really hard to find it, or it's really expensive to find it. Unfortunately, I sold my copy when I was in a bit of financial dire straits, so that's annoying. But anyhow, Fantasia. This book has different covers depending on where you buy it, I think. So this I did for a tutorial. So this must have been like skin tutorial, face on skin. Yeah, I can't remember what I would have called it, but just look for skin and you might find it. This one I really like. There is a lot of colour on this page, which, you know, nowadays I probably wouldn't. I probably would have kept the rug colours at least, just a little bit more muted, but it's nice, it's bright, it's effervescent, it's everything that I want my colouring to be. So this is another gorgeous book. This I did for a colour cube challenge, which again you can find on the channel. I picked a card. Was it the colour catalogue or the colour cube? I think it was the colour catalogue actually, because this was a while ago. And I picked a palette from the catalogue and like randomly, and I think this is what I got. It's pretty nice. There's a lot of mistakes and going over the lines, but see, normally I would touch that up and stuff, but I haven't here. And then I like just that little bit of skin contouring that I've done on his face. So that's quite nice. Oh, just missed one. Gosh, I can't remember doing this. And I don't feel like it was that long ago either. Yeah, I actually can remember doing it because I messed up a lot. There are a lot of acrylic cover-ups going on this page. I think I coloured the sections in not the way I wanted to colour them. I also don't like this sky. Look at all the brush marks. No, that's not me. Look at the texture as well on the pyramids. I guess that's good in a way because it kind of looks like grains of sand. So I've gotten away with that a bit there, but I think this was a bit of a page of I done messed up. Right, so this one I obviously started and didn't finish. This is beautiful. I did this, I think this was the first page that I coloured when I got my Holbein pencils, and I just went to town on the pastel, as you can tell. And I think it's nice, it's delicate. Yeah, it's lovely. I think that's all. I've done quite a lot in that book actually. Right, let's get on to the next artist. We have got Maria Troll. So this is one of her older books, this Luna. Again, I had all of her books at one time and then sold them. Okay, so this is obviously me doing a tutorial of some sort for a petal, for a gradient. But I have, oh, this has got some imprints on it. That's not good. I have painted this, which is absolutely terrible. It looks, no, this is not good. No, let's skip over that one. I used a lot of water as well. It's very wibbly wobbly, that page. This is better. I like this one. So again, quite limited palette when you think about it. Purple, yellow and green. That's it really. And then variations of purple. She's got like a purpley pomegranate kind of colour top. And the yellow and the browns all kind of meet in the same family. So yeah, that's quite nice. Don't think I've done anything else. I'm not a super fan of Maria Troll's older books. Quite like her newer ones. So this one is, I think, my most recent video on this channel, my review of The Magic Library. So I'll just quickly show you, in case you haven't seen that yet, the page that I coloured, if I can find it. Where are you? There we go. So this is the celestial globe with lots of gold paint inclusions. I have a video about this, don't I? It's literally last week and I can't remember. I've got a video showing how I coloured this. I can't remember if it's a whole colour along or not, or if I just showed you. Anyhow, go and look for that. Terrible memory, terrible. And then we've got the Christmas book, which I coloured this from. So this was Christmas just gone. I like it. It is quite cozy colouring-esque. This is why I say that Maria Troll books are fantastic for those wanting to move up from cozy colouring but not wanting to get into like Kirby Rosanes. So yeah, quite like this. I love that gradient at the bottom. That's turned out nicely. Yeah, I think that's all I've coloured. Yup. Ars Tider. Again, I can't remember what these titles are in English. That's the one I've coloured. Another one that I quite like. I like the, I don't know if it's quite bokeh effect, but it's definitely blurred lights in the background. And again, I've done that thing where I create the skin meeting the face paint, you know, and I've done that. I quite like to do that. And I've whited out her eyes as well so that she looks a little bit more dead. So that's that. Then we've got Sargon. I've coloured this one. Again, love the popping colours. The aqua on the back, the yellow popping straight over that. It's quite nice. Oh, there's another one. This one I do quite like because I like the gradient and the vignette of it going from dark to glowing in the centre, and then the tentacles. Again, really, purple and green are the main colours on this, and then there's just a little bit orange in there as well. I love this. This is my favourite kind of green. In Prismacolor, it's called Parrot Green, and it's my favourite. And then finally, we have Starfall. Did I show you that? Yeah, Starfall. Just missed it. This one. Again, I quite like it. It's nice and pretty and quaint. and it's contained in a circle, which I always like doing, like the water, even though I went a little bit uphill with this water. Did I do this on a live or started it on a live? I'm pretty sure I coloured this with you guys, but I could be wrong. So that is Maria Troll. Next up is Hanna Karlzon. So these are her older style books, and this was the first one she ever did, I think. Dag Drama or Daydreams. And this is the only book I have ever coloured the entirety of. It's not fantastic. A lot of this was done when I was very early on in colouring. So, I mean, just like look at the lines and stuff. But I enjoyed doing it at the time, and that's the whole point, you know. I think I've just become a bit more critical and trying to be better all of the time. Let me just see. I like the contrast of the day and night there. That's nice. Look at this wax bloom. Can you see that? I'm just rubbing it off with my finger. That's Prismas for you. I've got a full video. I love that. That's really nice. I've got a full video of this book, me flipping through it, again on the channel, which you can find if you wanted to have a bit of a better look at every single page. This was one of my first videos, I think. Where is it? Galaxy. Pretty sure this is one of my first tutorials, how to colour a galaxy. Yep, so that's that one. I just want to keep these in order because I do have them in order in my shelf. So then we've got Summer Nights. Missed one. There we go. Nothing wrong with that. That's quite nice. I like the blue and the pink together. They're the main contrasting colours, aren't they? The blue and the pink. Yeah, pretty pleased with it. And we've got some bugs, little gemstone bugs. Again, I'd probably do something a bit different now with the background. It just looks like a bit of pale dirt. I'd try and zhuzh that up a little bit. Again, another one of my first videos on this channel was how to colour gemstone bugs. And these are the ones. And then there's this one, which I do quite like because I like the contrast on the black. I like the fact that you can see her skin in between her tattoos. And yeah, it's quite a nice one. It's quite bright, vibrant, bold. I was still using markers and pens at that time. So a lot of the time, that's why you see a lot of streaks and things like that. Then we've got Magisk Grinning, which I can't remember what that means. Is it like evening magic or something? I don't know why I feel really nervous for this video, which is weird because I've been doing it for 10 years. Why? But it never gets easier, you know, sitting and talking to people, and you're all fantastic, but it just never gets easier. I like this. I remember being really pleased with it when I first did it. I like the pearls. I like the multicolored crystals, which again, I have a tutorial for. And yeah, it's nice. This one that I never finished, there's another whip. I think I gave it up as a bad job because the background just looks a bit weird. What did I do that with? Oh, it must be chalk pastel. Maybe I'll have to return to all these whips one day. Or I can just put it back on the shelf and never see it again. Which is probably what will happen. Yeah, I don't think there's any... Oh, yeah. Did this hourglass. I think I used a lot of glitter gel pen on there. That's that one. Then we've got Tide Valve. I feel like I haven't done anything in this one. I haven't, have I? No. So that is an uncoloured book, which I haven't got many uncoloured books, to be fair. This is my favourite Hanna Karlzon book ever, Soulmates. Done quite a few in here, including one quite recently as well. Let's have a look. This one with the steampunk inspired futuristic one. I do have a tutorial for this brushed metal on here. And we've got a bit of a pirate girl. We've got a double page spread with jelly beans and what are these, chinchillas? Again, look with the rough fur. They look like they've been on a bender. Right, this is one that was in the portfolio and I just really like the contrast of this. I don't normally like doing large areas with just block colour. I like to try and get gradients absolutely everywhere, but I think this works with the block blue on the background. It's so bright and it really, I think I just had a perfect colour choice day that day, which doesn't happen all that often. But I love this. It's one of my favourites ever. And then we've got the Magician. I don't think it's too long ago since I've done this one either. And again, some sparklies. And then this is the one that I did just the other day with Color pencils, which I don't know if you saw my post about them, but I'm not pleased with the quality of the Color pencils. Yes, the page does look really vibrant and to a glance there is nothing wrong with it, but the actual doing it, the actual colouring of it was really hard work. They're very hard pencils. There's not a lot of pigment unless you push really hard. You can see all of the pressure lines that have taken the ink on the other page because of how hard I was pressing. And if you do look close up, there are areas, you know, especially in this blue bit, where you can see the granular pigment binder building up because I'm trying to get the pigment out of the pencil. It's not working. This, I remember I started because I was showing a lovely lady how to colour skin, and it was just a very quick demonstration. So I was just showing her how to contour and then how to colour a bit of hair as well. Should also finish that one day. Then we've got this one, double page spread, futuristic, lots of metal work and gems. And then this one I did a tutorial for crabs. So my husband's just come down and put the kettle on. I did a tutorial for crabs or crab claws. That's the colours that I used. I'm pretty sure I did a video on that as well. And then we've got a witch, purple and green. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not one of my favourites. I think that's it. So I have done quite a lot in this book because I do enjoy the illustrations in here. But I think that's all of them. That's another whip, or something I've been testing on, I should say. So that's that one. And then we've got this one, which I think it's Jewellery Box, which is probably my least favourite of the older Hannah books. I don't really know why, I just don't vibe with it really. So I'm not sure whether I've even coloured anything in here. But as a completionist, I have to have the whole collection, which is why Fall Masquerades Evading is really getting on me. No, I've not coloured anything in here. Oh, I have, and it's horrible. So this is obviously a metal key that I've coloured with some jelly roll, and then I've tried to draw keys and I can't draw. So yeah, again, that's just another one that needs to go away and never be seen again. And then finally we've got Gold Corn, which is gold, grains of gold, I think. And I think, is this a compilation book? I think it is a compilation book yeah, it is, because look, that's from Soulmates. Yeah, so if you want a Hanna Karlzon book, and you can still get your hands on these, because some of these you cannot find anymore, get this one, because it's got a lot of different images from the books. This one I definitely did on a live, because I remember doing it with you all. So we've got the Galaxy watercolour background, and then we've got the sort of translucent, ghostly white pencil going on. Yeah, I remember doing that with you now. How long has it been since I did a live? I can't remember. I love this. I coloured this for the review of the Starjoy Gold pencils, and I think it turned out fantastically well. I like the little bit of shading that I've done on it, although I don't think it's a perfect cast shadow, let's say. But I feel like it needs to be lying in a treasure chest of golden coins, but I ain't going to try and attempt that. So I think that's it. Oh no, it isn't. I've got one more. Again, I quite like with portraits sometimes just to black out the background and then use some really poppy contrasting colours. So I've got the red and the green on here. And then even the silver hair pops against the black background. So sometimes I can make good choices. So now we're just going to move into Hannah's newer books, which are a slightly different size, shape and format. So continuing on with Hanna Karlzon, we have got this format of book. It's not as thick, it's slightly smaller than her older books. And we have tales from, this is the Midnight Masquerade. So I'll go from the back. What's that I've just missed? Oh yeah, so I did this one, and it definitely needs some kind of background. I think 2026, 27 might be my year of trying to figure out backgrounds, because I look back at these old pages and I think, yeah, it definitely looks too floaty on the page. It needs to be grounded on a desk or something, you know, on a table. So I need to figure that out. And we've got this one. Again, it's not one of my favourites. I quite like the diamonds that I've done at the bottom, the shiny diamonds, but I don't like this background. I don't know what I was thinking with that. And I don't think I've even finished it, because look, the table's still white and the little mouse as well, and a shoes. So that's another one I've not managed to finish. Probably gave up on it after the background and thought, no. This one was a colouring roulette challenge. So if any of you haven't heard of colouring roulette, it is a game that I made. It's completely free. It's just a downloadable, printable thing. And you get the instructions on it, and you cut out the little prompt cards and you mix them up and shuffle them, and then you get like a random type of medium to use, type of thing to colour, what colours to use, and all that kind of thing. It's pretty fun. I've got a video on that as well. And this one I was given, obviously, to colour a cake, but I had to do it in these colours, and I thought, this is just going to look terrible. You know, these coral and mossy green, it doesn't really go nice together, let alone for a sweet treat. So yeah, but it was a challenge, it was fun, and I did use alcohol markers, so I have ruined the back page of that, but I think that was what came up on my colouring roulette card, that I had to use alcohol markers. This one I love. I'm pretty sure I did this entirely with Holbein's and just went for those pastel colours again. So yeah, really, really like this one. Really nice double page spread, really cohesive. And then there's this one, which I started years ago and then only finished, I think, last year. I think it was last year. And I really like it. I like how I've done the castle in the mahogany sort of colours. And yeah, it's just a pretty nice scene. I particularly like the sky. It looks like the moon is some kind of comet. I don't know what I was thinking there, but anyway, so that's Midnight Masquerade. Then we've got Tales from something to do with stars. I can't remember the name, but it's the black cover. And this is a buddy colour that I did, and also I believe I might have used a colour card or a colour cube card or something. I think that's where I've got these colours from. I wanted it to look a little bit Halloween, so I think that's hopefully what's happened. And then some soft pastel for the background with just a little bit of erasing going on to make some soft clouds. Not sure if I've done anything else in there, probably not. So, like I say, these ones aren't my favourite of Hanna Karlzon's work. I prefer the older ones. This is Tales from the Forest Kingdom, which is the only one that I haven't got in Swedish, I think. I quite like having the original Swedish versions. This is probably my least favourite Hanna Karlzon book. I'm not really sure why. I think there's just too many leaves and forests and things. But this is one that I coloured. I can't remember what pencils I used, but I think they were a harder type pencil, maybe Polychromos or something like that. Oh, I have coloured something else. So this was a video that I did comparing Prismacolors with Amazon Basics pencils, and I asked you guys to guess, you know, which side was which. I think, yeah, looking at it, this side is the Amazon Basic and this side is the Prismacolor. I can only tell because the colours do look a bit deeper and richer, and also when I've gone over the black lines, the Prismas are so opaque that they can sort of cloud the black lines, whereas you can't see that. These are very crisp. But still, Amazon Basics are brilliant pencils for the price. I mean, at a glance, you can't tell a difference, I don't think. So that's Tales from the Forest Kingdom. Then we've got Tales from the Witch's Cottage, which is probably my favourite. Because, you know, it's me, witches, all that kind of stuff. Let's see them. Oh, yeah, I love this one. I really like the stonework that I did, because it's all different types of... I mean, some of it looks like wood, actually. And then some of it looks like stone, but different colours of stone. And the background was neo colour too. It's not perfect, but I think it's got a really cosy sunset feel about it. And there's this one that I did when I was doing the review of the dragon set of Black Widow pencils. I thought I'd best do something with a dragon on it. And I really like this colour. This is like, I think it's called Cardboard. And there's another colour that goes with it. And then there's another colour that I like on here. I think it's this grey. I think it's called Blue Tongue. the pencil. I could be wrong, but I'm just remembering things. Again, I feel like it should have a background. Seems a bit floaty. And then this one, I feel like this was a buddy colour. I'm so sorry if I can't remember who I did the buddy colour with, but I think it was a buddy colour. Yeah, it's nice. I like the sort of purple mahogany woodwork that I did on the back. It's quite unusual. I really like the coral colour of these flowers, and the little bit of purple just pops. This one is a whip, a long-standing whip, which as you can see has not been completed. I quite like it. I think I use water-based pencils, watercolour pencils on a lot of this, which I'm not too au fait with, but maybe it was Neocolour too actually. But yeah, it's quite nice. I like how the potions that she's pouring in just seem to glow. I didn't think I had this many whips actually, so that's been something that I've learned from today's video. I swear I've just seen another one. Oh yeah, there it is. I love this one. So this is very, again, Halloween colour palette, and you've got the little ghosties and the cats, and yeah, I really, really like it. I'd love to live there. Maybe I should start painting the outside of my house to match. Then we have got Tales from Atlantis. And again, Hannah's another one of those that just brings out books at a rate of knots. She's just released today on her Instagram that she's finished another book. So we'll have to wait and see what the theme is for that one. And this is the one that I've coloured. Again, I really like this one. It is a more recent one, and I tend to like my more recent ones more than the older ones. But I like how I've coloured the bust to look a little bit like oxidised copper, you know, like the Statue of Liberty. And the background's cool. I just put these watery bubbles in and it turned out all right. I think that's all I've coloured in that one. Then we've got God Yule, which is it Merry? It's not Merry Christmas, is it? Good Time. I think it is Merry Christmas actually. Let's see what I've done in this one. So this is a nice one. This is a cup with some marshmallows and hot chocolate in there. I like the textures on this. I like the different colours, but it's still all really cohesive. As soon as I look at this, all I can see is red, green and yellow, or red, green and gold. And then everything else is a variation thereof. So again, nice and cohesive. This, I believe, was a full colour along. It was how to creepify a Christmas page that I did. So if you want to see how I did that, you can find that video. And I enjoyed blocking out all of the windows and then putting silhouettes of candles and hands and scythe and stuff. So yeah, and I changed the door number to 666. I think I also used some KJ Design by Karen ghost glitters right on the snow at the bottom. Hopefully that's showing up for you. And then, yes, so this is a double page spread that I do love. I did a tutorial on how to paint the Northern Lights, and I think I used water-based pencils. I think I used maybe the Caran d'Ache Museum pencils, or did I use Neocolours? Anyhow, I've got a tutorial for how to achieve this, and yeah, I really like it. Again, it's all one spread, and there's all background filled in. It feels complete and whole, and I think I'm going to start going for that in my colouring pages more and more. And then this is just a quick one that I did. Again, Neocolours for the sky, some shiny paint for the frame. Yeah, and so I've used the same colour on the berries as I have on the roof. And then the walls of this building sort of match the frame colour. And then the greens kind of match. So I'm always trying to keep colours. I'm always trying to reuse colours on different parts of the page. Then we have Halloween. So of course, I love this book. Couldn't wait for it. This is one that I did when I was experimenting with backgrounds with Neocolour, because I wanted to purposefully create this look of a very old, worn wall. You know, I can't really explain it other than that. But I also used lots of KJ by Karen paints. So you can see all the frames are really shiny. Yeah, I had fun experimenting with that page. And then we've got this one, which again is another one I really love. We've got the purple background, the glowy middle, and I've used little different colours of paint pens to look like sprinkles on the background. Yeah, it's cool. Again, I'm just looking at it, I'm seeing purple, orange, green. So if you take anything from this video, just take that it's good to use a cohesive colour palette. Then we have the most recent one, which is Tales from the Castle Ruins. And I'm sure I've only done one in this because it's not even that long since I did the review. There we are. So this is a stained glass page, or at least I made it into a stained glass page. It did have all the lines everywhere you see them, but I've sort of put blends in going in different directions in each section of it, so it looks a bit like stained glass. I actually held off using a white paint pen, which is like my #1 tool. Everything gets white paint pen dots, but this one I held off, and I think it looks quite nice. Even though it's, you know, it's hasn't got those shiny bits, I still think I've achieved some shine with the gradients. So yeah, really like it. Speaking of white paint pens, I've just about half an hour ago received these grabby acrylic markers. They're very fine tip, and you have to like push them to get them activated like you would a Posca. But I was so like pleased with how well these work, and you know, they might clog up or whatever once I've had them for a while, but look at this. That is so good, like so opaque. They're not, they don't feel scratchy or anything. So yeah, I'll be using them more and more. Now the final Hanna Karlzon book I've got is, have I got Till Salmons actually? I used to have Till Salmons. This is the big artist edition book, but I'm not sure if I still have it. But I have this one. It's part of her children's colouring book collection. She does have another one called Space, but I don't have that one. But this one is a lot simpler. I mean, it's still Hanna Karlzon's whimsy and everything, but it's got a bit thicker lines and a bit larger spaces, and I love it. So let's flip to the one I've done. Please say I've done one. Yes. So I did this ice cream turtle, and I always go for the mint choc chip. That was my favourite ice cream when I was a kid, was a mint choc chip. Not so sure about now, but I always seem to do that when I'm colouring ice creams because I think it just looks so unusual. You've got the little chocolate drops inside and the green of it and everything. But what I like about this one is the texture of the tortoise, because none of these lines were drawn in, I don't think. No, they weren't. So I've had to go with a brown and just create these little pentagons, hexagons, whatever they are, and then create this textured look, and I think it looks pretty good. I also like the pearls and the cotton candy clouds. So that's all my Hanna Karlzon books. Now we're on to Johanna Basford. So the first one is Secret Garden. I have the French edition. Not entirely sure why I have that edition. So this is something that I did obviously a long time ago. Just, I think that must have been, yeah, it looks like pens. I'm not sure how much I've done in this one. I started with Johanna books with Enchanted Forest. That just looks like a test. And Secret Garden I didn't do a lot in. So that's the nameplate page that I've done. Is there any more? Again, I'm just doing tests in this book, I think. So I've not done much from Secret Garden. I do, however, have the Secret Garden Artist Edition, which I'm pretty sure I've done stuff in. Then I have the 10th Anniversary Limited Edition Special of Secret Garden, which I'm pretty sure I've not touched. Oh no, I have. Saw something then. Yeah, so this was just a quick one to do in the book, and you can see that I've used some KJ sparklies on the butterfly halos, auras, whatever you want to call them, and that looks really sweet. So yeah, nice little bit of an easy blend. Quite like these berries, got a bit of texture to them. I don't think I've done anything else in the book. No. Then we have Enchanted Forest, which is one of my oldest colouring books, right from day one. Let's have a look. Did I miss something then? No. So this was one of the first major pages that I actually coloured, and this was featured when I did like a newspaper article. It was an older, not old, yeah, it was a local newspaper. They came around my house and they took some pictures of my colouring, and I had like an interview on the local news, and this was one that they took a photo of. So as you can see, I've been putting characters into this tree, and I've gone for Disney characters. So I put like a light board underneath that shined through, and then I put a piece of paper with like a printed image of Mickey on it, and then traced it and coloured it in. So you can still see all the lines of the tree underneath it, but I actually quite like that. So yeah, this is interesting. You know, it was one of my first big pages. And then there's this one, which is full of pastels. And all this was the ribbon across the page. So it was just these leaves as a ribbon. And I did the same thing with the tracing. I traced a picture of Pocahontas and John. Is that John Smith? Again, I don't know Disney. And yeah, it reminded me of that Colours of the Wind song that's in Pocahontas. I seem to remember seeing that at some point. Then we've got this one, which looks like I started and didn't finish, or it's a testing page or something. And then we've got this Mushroom Castle, which is all glitter gel pens. So that was me going through my gel pen phase. And there's this one, which I was practicing light sources on. You can tell it's been done a long time ago because the pencil colouring's not great. I don't even think I had Prismacolors at this point, but I could be wrong. And yeah, because look at the leaves. There's no blend going on there. It looks like I've either forgot to fill in these mushrooms, or that's just how I thought I should leave them. But yeah, not great. But it's nice to look back on and see how far you've come, I suppose. Here we go for another glitter gel pen one with this stag. And some neon birds as well. I think that might be Karen's neon paints, actually. That's just another little test that I did. Is that it? I think that might be it. But again, I've got the Enchanted Forest Artist Edition, so I've done some more in there. Next we have Lost Ocean. So I coloured the entire cover, as you can see, with alcohol markers. And this was a book that, it was probably the first review that I did that I was a little bit critical, not horribly critical because I'm not like that, but because it was just so tiny. And I think that's where, it was a time when Johanna had done Secret Garden and Enchanted Forest, and I think people were asking for something a bit more complex, or colouring books in general becoming more complex, and maybe she catered to that, I don't know. But there's so many teeny tiny spaces, you've not even got a room to blend, you know, and it was just fine liners all the time, which is what I did this one with. And then there's this one, which again, mixed media. I think I did some, it's got an Italian name, it's like Scrivito or Scrivo or something like that, where I had some paint sticks, tempera paint sticks, lobbed them about all over the page, and then scratched away some of the paint to create these waves. Again, it's not fantastic or anything, but it's just practice and it's experimentation. I didn't colour in the rest of the whale, I decided to leave in white. This is one from Lost Ocean that I did with Magnetips. These were the old, it was all the rage at one time. They were magnetic fine liners, and you could just swap and change and build things out of them and all sorts. It was a Kickstarter, I think, and I've not seen them since, so I don't know what happened with Magnetips. Is this one? It's obviously got lots of pastel on the background. These are just normal chalk pastels. At that time, I didn't know or have any pan pastels, so yeah, but that's, again, just colouring everywhere and not really caring about what it looks like. These are just tests. See, look, this is beautiful. Like, there's no denying that this illustration is beautiful, but the spaces are so tiny. I really love that. What else have I done? Oh, this must have been a little experiment for something as well. So I've tried to do that geometric design that you do with, you know, sometimes the people do it on their wall with frog tape, and then they colour in the little triangles and then peel the tape off. I've tried to do that on here. You can see some places that I've ripped, but these look like they might be chameleon markers. Maybe, I'm not sure. And that's my title page with purple and green. Just making sure quickly that I've got all of them. Did we see that one? Yeah, we did. Yeah, again, I've got the Lost Ocean Artist Edition, so there'll be more in there. Then we have Magical Jungle. So I think a lot of people complained about the tight spaces in Lost Ocean. So the next book, it all became about the huge wide open spaces. So I think she was just trying, bless her, to cater to what everyone wanted. And this. Oh, I was going to say that I'm sure they're not one-sided, but these are the extras that you get in the back. There's my colour palette test page. Let's have a look then. Magical Jungle. I've been practicing some blends there. This one, I remember I did it with water-based pens, or no, actually, I think it was watercolour pencils. So that's that one. Another bit of testing there. This one's quite nice, you know. I know it's not perfect, but it's quite nice. And if you notice, I've very lightly shaded in some shadows of fish in that water, and I quite like this water as well. Yeah, it's quite nice. It's not perfect, like I say, and it's not precise or anything, but yeah, it's all right. This one I adore. This one wasn't that long ago, actually. I feel like it was only a couple of years ago that I coloured this. And I think I may have even done a tutorial for the green bokeh effect. Again, it's that glowing lights. It's not really bokeh. But I love the colours of the doors, the deep sort of terracotta colours, and then the navy blue. And yeah, I love how that turned out. And my fur actually didn't look too dishevelled on this one. So that's good. What else? This one is another whip that I keep forgetting that I've started. Pretty sure this is a video as well. Glowing background, something like that. It's called Glowing Sunset, I think it's called. And yeah, it definitely needs finishing, doesn't it? Then this one is a double page spread that I did where, again, I was tracing on a light board and I decided to put all Pokemon creatures in here. So this is, oh, don't ask me what they're all called now. My kids have grown up and I can't remember. But there's loads of different Pokemon scattered around. There's a Bulbasaur and the little flower. Got the little Oddish, is that what that's called? Weeble or something. The little bat. And there's the little Ecans down here. So yeah, that was fun. This one, just water-based pens, no real blending going off. There's a little bit of an attempt at it, but it is what it is. It's quite flat to me. So this one you can see I've started, but the colours have faded quite a lot, and I don't think it's what do you call it, wax bloom, because it's not wiping off. But a lot of it has ended up on this page because it's been tight on my shelf, so that's probably why. This is a nice one. So this is a double page spread of the jungle, and yeah, I really enjoy looking at this one. Every so often it will pop up on my memories that I coloured this, and I like how I created the silhouette trees in the background. I like the rocks, the waterfall, the water itself, and then obviously the background. Again, I'm sure I did a video for this background. It will be something like rainbow sky gradient background, something like that. And I think, oh no, I did the nameplate page. But I think that's it for Magical Jungle. And then we have Johanna's Christmas, her Christmas book. Start from, did I colour this? Oh yeah, I must have coloured this because I just saw the marker bleed through on the back. So yeah, I thought, yeah, I must have coloured it then. So yeah, coloured that. We've got a Merry Christmas one. I think I wrote that in and I'm no good at lettering, but this is some gel pen as well. Don't know whether that's going to show up, but it's got some sparkly on it. Let's see. So this one was done with KJ Designed by Karen holographic paints. And they're absolutely stunning. Yeah, that was fun, just to paint one for a change. This is a whole colour along, but I think I did it in written form. So writing and pictures, probably on my blog somewhere. But yeah, that was fun. Even though this fire seems quite rudimentary, I think it's actually quite nice. It doesn't compare to the fire that I colour now, but it still looks like flames to me. So that's the snow globe that I coloured. Really, really like this one. We've got the simplicity of the pink and brown castle. And then I've kind of just put a bit of white pen around to make it look a bit glassy. I'd probably do a bit of a better job if I coloured it again, but there's nothing wrong with it. And, oh yeah, this got cut out, I think, because I think I was trying... This was the page where we were doing the charity page or something. Me and Claire Holloway and another lady that I'm so sorry I can't remember your name now. We did a charity raffle where we all coloured a part of the same double page spread, and it was like this, gingerbread houses. And then we did a raffle for guide dogs, I think, for a charity. I just forget everything, I'm terrible. Here's my little nutcrackers. So I've kept the colour palettes cohesive on each nutcracker. They're quite nice. This one is another whip that I'm staring at it now and I cannot remember ever beginning this page, so this was quite a while ago, and yes, it does need finishing. I ought to have made a note of all these, you know. Oh, this is my polar bear. So again with the chalk pastel background, a few bits of snow coming down, and quite like the colours I chose for this iceberg. quite unusual, but they match the background. So yeah, that's nice. This was me experimenting with some foil, decorative foil. So you can see how beautiful it looks. You can see what I was trying to go for, but it is not easy to work with. It's very delicate. And this is just markers. You know, it's quite flat. There's nothing fab about it. I think one thing I do like is the little snowmen that I've drawn there. But yeah, it's not a favourite of mine. So that's Johanna's Christmas. Then we've got World of Flowers. So this is a nice book. I think I've done quite a bit in this book. Start from the back. So we start with the skull. I think I did this with Polychromos pencils, if I remember rightly. And again, just look, cohesive palette. There's green, blue and orange and variations thereof, but that's it. And it just pops so much to me. Then we've got this cute little bunny. I think I drew in a little bit of grass at the bottom and a bit of a sky. Again, nothing fantastic, but what I like about it is the colours of the flowers. They all seem quite Nordic to me. I don't know, does that make sense? Like folk art colours, Nordic palette, I don't know. You know, if you go into IKEA and you see some of the prints they do on the bed linen, they've always got a certain colour palette. Another whip. So this, we've got some KJ silver or chrome paint on the back, which is beautiful. Again, with that sunset blend, sunset gradient that I used on the toucan page in the previous book. So I need to finish this. Another whip. This one I love, and I loved it for a long time. I was really proud of this one. Again, I don't know what it is. It's just the colours go really nicely together. The blue, red, green and gold. And yeah, I love it. Then we've got this one, which I believe I did as a colour along or a speed colour or something like that. And this has got those same Halloween-y kind of colours that we saw that I used in Hannah's books. I like the black leaves. I love the little wood texture and the colours that I've used in the wood. These wheels look like donuts or jelly or something like that. And this was a colour cube or colour catalogue challenge. So I would have used a palette picked from there. And again, like I said, I'm sure this is a video me showing you how I coloured this from start to finish. If you type in colour cube, it'll be on there. This is obviously something I was practicing or experimenting with using graphite. So using graphite as a bit of like a drop shadow effect. I'm not sure what I was trying to achieve, but it's terrible when you've got a really bad memory. This is nice. So this is all 4 seasons. And I drew in, I think, yeah, I did. I drew in all of the bits around. So it was just the spheres with the flowers in originally. So I've got this with spring colours, nice and pastel. Then we've got this one really bright summer colours. So for this one, I've done rain and a what's that? Umbrella. Then I've got a beehive and bees. And then I've got the autumn with the leaves and then winter with the snow. So I've forgotten I did this, and I really like how I've done that, how I've sort of given them their own elements on the page. Then we've got this one, which I love vintage colours, and I don't use them anywhere near enough, but it was nice for a change. Instead of using bold, vibrant gradients, to use the unusual and more unused colours in my pencil set. And it created this lovely, delicate, vintage sort of look to this page. And I did the same thing over here. This was all done with Derwent drawing pencils back when there was only a set of 24. So I did this whole thing with them. And again, it's not bright, it's not in your face, but it's just nice and antique looking. Then there's this one, which I wasn't happy with, to be honest. So I think, let me just think. So I think these were just circles with the flowers inside, and then I drew them as pots, plant pots, and coloured them in. And then I don't know what I was trying to do with this background. It looks like a metal plate background with some wiggly lines on it. I don't know what I was doing. But again, it's just experimentation. I think, oh no, done the nameplate page in pastels. That's it for World of Flowers. Then we have got Worlds of Wonder. So we'll start from the back. So this is one that I'm not happy with because I didn't use enough colours, like in between colours, to get from purple to orange, which are completely contrasting colours, and I didn't gradiate it enough, so it's really muddy. And you can see where I've been trying to go over and over and blend it because it started separating the binder. So yeah, not a fan of that one. Then there's this one, which is very simple. I feel like it's not even completed. I'm looking at this and I can't remember doing it, which is strange. Hang on, did I do this or did... No, I did this because I can recognise. I'm just thinking maybe I did it with like my little sister or something, because I can see more rudimentary blends as well as sort of nicer blends. So I genuinely can't remember colouring that. But I like the colours. This is one of my all-time favourites as well, this fish dragging the bottle. So on this side we've got the rainbow fish with the scales. Reminds me of that old book that we used to have at school. I don't know if you guys in the US did, but here in the UK there was a book about a rainbow fish, and it had shiny scales on the front of the book, and that reminded me of this. And then I outlined it in white, and I think the back was all neo colours for the water. Same on here, so very similar colours. And then the top and the bottom bar are both black background with fiery red flowers. So yeah, I love that one. Again, very bright, vibrant. It's very me. This one I gave up on. So I was doing this with KJ paints, and I think I went over the edges too many times, and I thought, nah, I've had enough of this. But it's gone onto this page, as you can see, because I never think to put something between and protect my pages. So this has clearly been started. This is a double page spread, and it's probably the most intense spread in the whole book. And I've started it and I quite like it. I like the water, I like the stars, the crystals, the little flowers, but I've not got any further than that. Probably it just daunted me to think how much more I had to do. And then we've got these, which was a video that I did, and I had a roulette wheel app thing, and I had to pick which medium to use, a different one on each vignette. So as you can see, I've used Polly's, Lightfast, Pablo, Crayola, lots of different ones on there. And I think I did a video every day. I think I did. So one per day for like 4, 8, 12, 16 days, something like that. This is a glitch effect that I tried. So this is everywhere on TikTok at the minute for the cozy colouring trend. And this was done with acrylic markers years ago. So this is a nice glitch effect on these flamingos. It's quite interesting. It's very simple and minimalist, but it's still really effective. And then we've got this one, which is nice, you know, it's got, I think my eye is drawn straight to the clothes because they're so bright compared to everything else. So if I was to do this again, I might just, maybe I can still erase some of that colour off and get them a bit more pastel to match the whole thing. But it's nice, I like it. This one you can see I've used alcohol markers on, and it's lemons, but it's not complete. So I've still got the lemon flowers to do, but I do love how I've tried to colour these lemons somewhat realistically. And I believe there is a tutorial for that as well. Just look on my channel and type lemons and you'll find it. These are some cakes that I've coloured. I think my favourites have got to be either the galaxy cake or the goth cake. Yeah, love those. Just little simple ones. And then there's this one. I remember being poorly when I did this. I think I was flued up. You know how sometimes you look back at colouring pages and you can remember what you were watching or where you were or how you felt when you coloured them. Some of them I can't remember at all, but this one I do. So I've clearly put some KJ Ghost glitters on those balloons. Yeah, again, just very limited colour palette, but it works. This was one that I think I did on a live. I've done it on some sort of video. It might have been a live, but I wanted to make the geometric base of these islands look like tiger's eye crystal. So if you've seen any crystals that are called tiger's eye, you'll know what I mean. I used a little bit of gold to create that. There goes my tablet alarm. 1 second. Yeah, so I used a bit of gold to create the tiger's eye. And yeah, it was just something fun to try. So that's Worlds of Wonder. Then we've got Rooms of Wonder. This one is not my favourite because there's just so many little pieces. You know, look at all this stuff that's on this desk. I mean, it's a gorgeous illustration, a black and white illustration. It's stunning, nothing wrong with it. But when I start to colour pages like this, I can't keep my palette limited because there's so many different things that would in realism be different colours, and so it doesn't look as cohesive. This is a colour along that I started and clearly have not finished. It's called the Owl Post colour along. So again, you can find it on my channel, but I've not got any further than that because I'm just quite flaky with things, you know. I really don't want to be. And then here we go. So this is a really nice one. This is a Rainbow Room. And I think I just tapped into, if I have to use loads of colours on a page because there's loads of elements, then I'm just going to throw all my colours at it. So we've got like neon rainbow backgrounds inside all of these shelves. Then we go from a really strong rainbow in these jars and eventually get to a very, very light pastel rainbow. There's all sorts going on this page. Loads of white pen, I can feel it. Yeah, it's just an explosion of colour. This one I absolutely adore. So again, with the sunflowers, using paint pens to create that texture of the inner sunflower. I love, did I draw these? Yeah, I did. I can see where I put the ink. So I guess then, if I remember rightly, did I though? Yeah, I must have done. Yeah, so if I remember rightly then, it must be that it was just the sunflower frame and I've added these blocks, but they look really good. See, I'm surprising myself. So yeah, that's really cool. I love that one. Even though we've got rainbow everywhere, it's kind of contained, you know, it doesn't take over, I don't think. And then there's this one where I was forcing myself to stick to a limited palette. I believe, again, this might have been a colour card or a colour catalogue palette. You can see it's just red and blue, really. So yeah, I tried to make it work. Maybe I only used a couple of pencils on this because it looks as though I've used one red on all the red bits and one, maybe two blues. So yeah, that's all cohesive. So it can be done. It's just there's so many little bits and bobs in there. Then we have got Magical Worlds. Oh, I've actually put some protection in there. Let's see them. Okay, so that is one that I absolutely love. Again, it's really limited palette. It's very autumnal. I love the green. I believe that was a luminance green. And yeah, the little brown flowers, you wouldn't normally think to colour flowers brown, but they really went nice with this illustration. The burnt orange and the rustic red. And my little fox with fur that doesn't look too bad, so that's good. What else? This is one that I started just last Halloween. I was doing it with my friend on FaceTime and we just didn't get any further with it, so I'll have to continue that. Why a blue pumpkin, may you ask? So I'd coloured that many pumpkins last year that I thought I can't be bothered again with doing the same orange pumpkins. And apparently a blue pumpkin is something to do with, I think, autism. It's like a symbol of autism or something like that. So I thought I'm going to do it blue. And again, it's not been completed. So maybe next Halloween. And then there's this one, which is just, I don't even know how I did this because normally I wouldn't even look at these kind of wallpaper pages. But again, very autumnal. So it all matches and it's nice. Then there's this one, which I really like. So I obviously used a cloud stencil and some pan pastel in the background and then just stuck to purple, red and orange and a bit of blue for the island. So another one, yeah, love this one. Again, it's just an explosion of colour. We've got the flumps around the outside. Does anybody remember flumps? Again, maybe if you're in America, you wouldn't have called them flumps, but they're like marshmallow twists. And loads of rainbow and loads of my favourite parrot green. And just, yeah, I love the waffle cone texture on this one. Yeah, it's a lovely page. This one, I feel like I did this on camera as well. Or did I? I feel like this is another one where I coloured one per day, but maybe I didn't. But this is like a weathered watering can. I like that. This is, I always, if I ever see these little shoe house things, I always colour them in Playmobil colours, I think they are, because I used to have one of these toys. Is that it? Yes, I think so. Magical Worlds is a lovely book. Then we have the most recent, which doesn't have a page coloured in it, because I'm not keen on it, and it's Wonderful Wildflowers. Again, I think I'm just a little bit burnt out with flowers from Johanna and leaves. And I know some people absolutely adore that and they'll carry on buying the books till Kingdom Come, which, you know, I still will because I'm a completionist. But there's not a page in this really that spoke to me, maybe one or two, but it's just not my favourite. I just want something new and fresh. But that's not Johanna's, what do they call it? Not XP, IP? I don't know. Anyway, it's not Johanna, so I'm not expecting her to give up on the flowers or leaves anytime soon. Then we've got the different format books. So we start with Small Victories, which is her smaller version of a colouring book. So I did this as part of a video called, I think it was Colour on the Carpet with Claire, because I was freezing. I didn't want to come and sit at my desk, but I still wanted to film. So I just got on my carpet and set my phone to record, and then that was that. So let's see what I've done. So we've got these different rainbow coloured houses. And we have got these little miniature worlds, which I've added a bit of sky on and all that kind of thing. Made this a bit geometrical with the triangle. That one's got some thingy bob on it. Wax bloom. Then I've got these 3 rainbow boats, which I wanted a bright rainbow, a deep and desaturated rainbow, and a pastel rainbow. And then there's this one, which unusual colour blends for me, but turned out all right. Again, there's nothing, I'm not in love with it, but it's all right. This one, I believe I coloured on a video or on a live or part of something else. I like the colours. They're very rustic and traditional looking colours. Then I think this one might have been the first one I coloured in Small Victories, and I just did a big black band behind it. Yeah, nice little fish. And I love anything that looks kind of Chinese or Japanese, that kind of architecture. I'm really into that. And then there's this one which I did on a live. I remember doing it, that it went a bit wrong. I started off using some of that paint, they call it like black 2.0 or something. It's the blackest black paint, and it was crap. And then I went over it with the Le Franc Bourgeois, and it kind of saved it, but then I was trying to make it glow and it all started ripping the paper and stuff, so I gave it up as a bad job. But just looking at the island itself, I do like those colours together. It's quite Irish looking, a little bit spooky looking as well. And then we've got this one, which I did on a joint live with Suzanne Berry, Emily Illustrator, and Barbara Colour. And we all did this, did a boat or did something from, did we all do one boat? I can't remember, but we all did that live anyway. It was really fun. This one I tried to do with some Team U watercolours, and they're absolutely crap, so gave it up as a bad job. And then there's this one, which I really like, actually. I've managed to create a little bit of a microcosm of space inside each one, and there's some nice gradients on there. Is that it? No, there's this one. So again, just an explosion of colour. It's quite psychedelic, and yeah, I like it. It's different, isn't it? At least the whole background's filled in. And that was when I was doing colouring on the carpet. So I did that on my own first, and then I thought I'll show you all how to do it, and I did it in the back of the book. So that's Small Victories. Then we've got Inklings, which is her newest book, so I've not done much in here. Done my title page, and yes, this is a recent one, so I have shown you how to do this. This is Distress Oxide background. I love it. I love the stencil work, and you can achieve so much with Distress Oxides. I've even splashed water all over it, and it's created this oxidized look. I love it. It's so easy. Such an easy thing. I think my video was called, well, it's really recent. It's called Game Changer for Backgrounds or something. This was part of a video that I did not so long ago about cozy colouring techniques, and this was the stickers technique. So I made it look like an old school book, drew in all these lines, and then drew the lines around them to make them look like stickers. So that was fun. And then we've got that one, which is all KJ designed by Karen paint, and then just some blue pencil for the misty sort of glow that's coming from it. Any more? Don't think so, no. So that's it for Inklings. Then we have got Joanna's bigger books. So we've got 30 Days of Creativity, which is more of a drawing book. There are things to colour in, but it's more of a drawing book. I'm not sure if I'm sure I would have filled something in. Yeah, so I started to colour this page, the little stamps. I've done 3 of these little Lost Ocean-esque vignettes as well. Ooh, practicing patterns. That must be what it says. Fill the heart shapes on the opposite page with as many patterns and shapes as you can. That must have been as many as I could think of. So that's quite nice. We've got some little pencil comfort foods. We've got some leopard print. Got a little bit of a pastel thing going on. We've got clouds. We've got little watermelons, patchwork. Yeah, that's quite nice. And then there's this one that I coloured in. Quite basic to me. There's nothing fancy about it. Got these two little sweeties that I coloured. They're quite nice, little lollipops. Anything else? No. So we've got How to Draw Inky Wonderlands. Again, another drawing book, quite similar. I drew this, Robin, I think. Yeah, I'm sure I did. And I'm not sure. No, I didn't do that. But this is just Johanna teaching you how she draws things, which is amazing that she's kind of given away her secrets almost. Did these little boats. And yeah, that's it. How to Draw Inky Wonderlands. Then we've got both my copies of Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. This is the UK version. This is the US version. I got a copy of the US version because I just loved the cover. I love green and gold together, and I think I use this as like a practice book more than anything. This is my main copy. So we'll see what I've done in this one. Here's the first one, another really colourful one. I think when people think of me as a colourist, they do think about my bright colour choices. This one I adore because look, you've just got the purple, green and gold, and the gold is a KJ design by Karen, so look at that flash. Beautiful. And then there's this one, which is like an illustrated manuscript. I'm not overly pleased with it, but it is what it is. And then we've got a pastel heart. It's quite sweet. And what else? This was me practicing fur. Still looks like she's been dragged through the hedge backwards. So this was the colour along that I did. So you saw this in the big portfolio book that I showed you. So this is a complete colour along from start to finish using polychromos. And then this one is a whip. So this is a whole page, and it's the magpie, Peek of the Magpie. And as you can see, I've made a start at some point, but then not continued. This one was all done with dots. So this was a fine liner and a pointillism technique. And then this one, I did black out the background for this, and it's all right. It's all right. You know, I like the purple because that goes quite nice with the green and the blue. I'm trying to find things that I like about all the pages, even if I don't like the finished result. This one's quite nice. So I've just done all the pencil work, and then I've gone in with KJ paint again and created that beautiful gold frame. This one, I can't remember doing it. I don't think I did this as a colour along, but I definitely did this as a colour along. I know a lot of you have done it and you found me through this colour along, so hi if that's you. This was again probably like an 11-part colour along or something, and we did water and we did stone, all kinds of things. This is another one that I love. I tend to really like doing these ornamental butterflies from Johanna because again, all I've done is use blue, purple and gold, and this is gold with pencils, not with paint, so it's just the effect of gold. This is a double page spread that I did that is all right. Again, you know, there's just so many different bits and bobs on there that I can't find anything cohesive, and the background isn't brilliant. I think my favourite thing is probably this little elephant frame because it's so bright. And then that's my nameplate page. So that's Ivy, and again, like I said, I don't think I've done anything apart from practice in this one. Let's have a look. I feel like I've done something. Yeah, so that's just the food page. I'm probably testing mediums and things. Oh, this must have been when I was preparing for the other page that I did of this, and I must have just been testing different things and checking things on that, but I can't remember doing it. But I think that's it. So this is just like a backup copy of Ivy, but I just love the colours. I love the cover. We're done with Johanna. Now we are moving on to Kirby Rosanes. So this is a hardback edition of Animorphia. Oh, that's bright. Need my sunglasses. Right, okay, let's have a look. Looks like I've been messing about there with water-based stuff. Started this fox, left it. started this page. Actually, no, I think one of my kids did this. I'm getting a little bit of like a vague memory that one of my kids started colouring this in. So there's that. And there's this one, which is part of my, I did an article for my website about things to do when you don't know what to colour, like colouring, interesting colouring techniques. And this was one where you just drew circles and did night and day on the flip side of the circles. So that was for that. And then this one, again, I'm not too pleased, but this is when Kirby was doing all of his doodle monsters and stuff, and it's not something I'm really interested in. But yeah, there's that. This one I did as a colour along or as a tutorial, I can't remember, but it's Helen Elliston's Colourist Special Effects. That's where I got this tutorial from. And then I think I was doing it on a video and Helen was in the chat and we were, you know, discussing it, and it was quite fun. So I love that. This is one of the first ones I did as well. I think it was filmed that day when I had the TV newspaper interview thing. I've stuck those together. I think I must have made a mess on it or something. But yes. So, oh, inside cover. So one side is neon, one side isn't. So that's that. And then we've got Imagimorphia. Let's have a look what I've done in this one. Just thinking, I forgot to show you the artist edition for Johanna. I'll have to do that at the end because I've got an artist edition, Imagimorphia and Animorphia, I think. I need to have a look. So this I did as a tutorial of how to colour pineapple rind, so you can find that on the channel. The rest of it, you know, it's them little creatures again. I can't be bothered. And then this was another one of those what to do when you don't know what to do. Just draw squares, colour inside the squares and leave the outside. And is that it? Oh no, this is Tutankhamun. It's all right. I bet you're sick of me saying that now, aren't you? It's all right. And I think that might be it for Imagimorphia. Then we've got Mythomorphia. This is one of my favourite Kirby books. So I've done a few in here. This is me practicing Galaxy with, I think, Inktense pencils. So there's this one, which doesn't look smooth or, you know, beautifully gradiated, but it's got texture to it and I really like that. This was Neo Colours, I believe, and I like the light that I've managed to capture on the edges of the creatures. Then there's this one, which is one of my all-time favourites. You saw it in the portfolio book, and again it's just blue and red and gold, a little bit of green at the bottom, a little bit of purple on his crystal ball thing, but again it's that it's how do I, like, Asian inspired, and I love that kind of thing. Anything Chinese, Japanese, Asian inspired. This one is Medusa, but I think I just block coloured everything on here because I can't see any blends or gradients or anything, but it's all right. Have you started that game where you take a shot every time I repeat myself yet, or are you not thinking about getting absolutely paralytic today? So this is a Fire and Ice one that I did. I used watercolour pencils, I think, for the entire thing. And I do like the look of the watercolour pencils. Obviously, it's just completely different to the very smooth, solid gradients that I like to do. And this has a lot more texture and it's a lot looser, but there is something to be said for that. I quite like it. I don't like it when I'm doing it. I think it looks terrible, and then I look back on it. This is another all-time favourite. You saw this in the portfolio as well. It's the Hippogriff. And again, it really is just down to those limited colours. We've got a galaxy going on, I know, but let's just call that purple. Then we've got green, gold, and the French greys for the mountains, and that's it. And I think that's it. Yeah, so that's Mythomorphia. Then we've got Geomorphia. So when this came out, I wasn't like over the moon with it. This is the Whirlpool page. And I tried to use like neon acrylic around each jellyfish. They look like flames going around. So you can see I was trying to contrast the cool colours of the water with the warm colours of the jellyfish. But yeah, when this book and Phantomorphia came out, many people were a bit like, nah, because it's not as thick as his other books. And, oh, that's just a little test there. And I think people just underwhelmed. So this is one where I've done again the multicoloured crystals, which I do have a tutorial for. So that's Geomorphia. And then we've got Phantomorphia. I think I did a snake in this. So we've got a spider with all of his bits and pieces in his web. And then I'm sure I did a snake in one of these books. Let me check Geomorphia again. I've coloured this, but not here. So where would I have coloured it? It must be in one of his compilation books. We shall continue and see. So we've got Wondermorphia, which is a compilation book, I think. Just say on the back. Yeah, combination of Phantomorphia and Geomorphia, so that's where it's come from. So let's have a look. This is one-sided, this one, which is brilliant, because Kirby books aren't generally one-sided. Where's that snake? I know it's in here somewhere. Oh my gosh, where is it? I actually don't believe this. It looks like I've not even coloured in it. I swear I have done that snake page. I'm going to keep going because it might be in one of the other compilation books. Worlds Within Worlds is my favourite Kirby book ever. And I've done a few in this. So we've got the trainers. One of these I did years ago by myself. This one I did when I used to do my live videos with you guys to make it all match. Had to remember what colours I used. Luckily, I know Prismacolors basically just by sight now. So yeah, had a lot of fun doing that with you on live. And there's this one with the gradient in the background of the sunset and a bit of water going on. And there's this one, which I love the sky for this. It is like Galaxy, but it's not the usual pinks and purples. It is just blue, and made his helmet look like quite glassy, I think. And then there's this one that I've started. So this is a whip. Every room has a different rainbow colour. And this one I actually really like. Again, with the hairless cats, I just seem to colour those quite well. And then the pyramid thing going on its back. And then we've got a really soft pastel gradient on the back there as well, which I think works quite well. Probably wouldn't do these blues if I did it again, because I think they take away from the cohesion of the page. And we've got this one, which is a whip, but it's not far from finished. It's just the bubbles, really. I've started the bubbles, but I've done all the main bits. So we've got the whales, we've got the little galaxy space bit, we've got this bit, which is probably my favourite, the cityscape, and then the tree. So yeah, I could do with finishing that one as well. And we've got this one, which was a colour along called Fountain of Knowledge. I think was it Fountain of Knowledge? Something like that. Yeah, my son named it. I did it as a colour along, so you can find that as well. I'm pretty sure this was the one. I coloured a couple of waterfalls. So, but I'm pretty sure this was the one that I did as a video. That page is falling out. Then we've got this one, which I adore. So this is just a close-up of a dragon, and again, it's blue and orange. That's all I'm looking at on here. I know we've got the silver, but that's like more of just a complement the page, but yeah. And then this one, another favourite of mine. So we've got blue, pink and gold for the main colours, and it's this wonderful big snake sea dragon thingamajig. I think that's it for Worlds Within Worlds. Then we've got Fragile World, which is the one that has all the info in the back about endangered animals and species, which is about what this book is about, and it is a beautiful book. I'll just flick through to the page I've done. So there's the orangutan. I could go mad with my fur on this one because they're generally quite shaggy looking creatures, so it didn't really matter about my fur skills. I quite like the face, how I've done the folds, but Kirby illustrations make it easy to do blending because he just puts all the shadows in for you. This page I've seen done recently on Instagram, and I couldn't tell you who did it, but I shared it and I commented on it and said, this has actually amazed me because she captured the golden hour. The lighting on it was sublime. I have to remember who that is. This one is a whip. Again, rainbow moth or kind of flying creature. And there's this one, which I do love. So this is the polar bear icicle with the seals and a little bit of northern lights going on. That's it for Fragile World. Then we've got Mythic World. Let's see, so this is quite cool. So this is the spider. Again, I've kept the colours limited. Really, it's just red, gold and black. And then you can see I've used some KJ paint on the web, because I thought webs are normally quite shiny, sparkly. They've got that look, the little golden strings. So that's what I did. And then there's this one, which is one of my favourite ever pages as well. It's the Charoof, I think this is called. But I love the lava. Again, there is a tutorial for the lava. And I love the clouds as well, because this is not usually how I would colour clouds, but it just seems to go with it. So yeah, love that page. And then there's, no, thought there was something in there. Then there's this one, another really nice double page spread. This is the Giant's Causeway, I think, in Ireland. And I've done a tutorial, but I can't remember what it was for. I think it might have been the Stormy Clouds. So type that in if you're looking for how to colour stormy clouds. And that's Mythic World. Then we've got the newest one, Dark Fairy Tales, which I love because I love anything dark, creepy, spooky, a little bit taboo, a little bit not normal. So this is the Mad Hatter, and I really enjoyed colouring this. I love the green that I used. And then I created diamonds in the background, but I cannot draw straight. So they're all wonky, but I think that kind of ties in, you know, with the whole Mad Hatter thing. It's a bit wonky and a bit, you know, bit like that. And then I like his face, because I used some different unusual colours on his face. So there's that one. Then there's this one, which I did a few weeks ago. I tried to make it look like the two main characters really popped from the page. So I did some white glow around them, and I made everyone else's dresses quite drab in comparison. Then there's this one, which I did for the collaboration for Dark Fairy Tales with My Colourful Country Life, Karen. She's lovely, and I coloured this double page spread as part of that. So there you go. I think that's all I've done in Dark Fairy Tales so far. And finally, for Kirby Rosanes, I have the 10-year celebration book, which, yes, I've coloured in. So this is a video I did not so long back about the one Kirby book that I don't like at all, which is Alien Worlds. And I did have a copy of it for review. That copy has since been given away or something. I can't remember what I did with it, but I didn't like it. Just freaked me out. So yeah, and as much as I love horror, and I really do love horror, have since I was a kid, I don't really like sci-fi, and this kind of whole thing, it's very sci-fi to me. So anyway, I did this video about colouring in a book that I didn't like, and I couldn't find the book because obviously I got rid of it. And so I've got this compilation book, which has a few pages from Alien Worlds, and this is one of them, and I did it as a full page colour along. So I think you can watch that on my channel. And I think that's all I've done. But this compilation goes right back to Anamorphia. And at the front, it's got loads of coloured pages that colourists have done. And just, I mean, look, you've seen my version of this. Look at this. It's amazing. Just amazing. Just so much talent. And I think Barbara Colour's in this. Oh, somebody I know is in it. I'm sure they've got the names somewhere, but I don't know. But yeah, absolutely stunning. Haven't coloured in that yet. Now I'm going to get the artist editions. Oh, right, so what am I looking for? I think actually it might just be Imagimorphia. I feel like I did have a big Animorphia, but I don't know where it is. It's not on my shelf. So this is the big Imagimorphia. You can't even see it because it's... Let's zoom out a bit. Sorry if the colour's changed. And this is the big artist edition. Have I coloured anything in it? Oh, I started this when I was on holiday. Again, I've never finished it. I think that's it, actually. Yeah, I definitely had an artist edition of Animorphia, but I can't see it on my shelf, so Lord knows where that's gone. Next I'm here, I will show you the artist editions by Johanna Basford. So we've got The Secret Garden. These are really yellow, these pages, but they're very, very thick. So the bugs, did some bugs. Got any glitter on there? No. And then I did this one, which I quite like as well. Pages have started popping out because it's that kind of binding where you don't have to tear it. It's just like a glue bound thing. And then Enchanted Forest. This was an old video that I did about how to blend alcohol markers. I've not done very well, have I? So that, you know, might take that video down. And then this one I loved for a long time because I like the silhouette elements that I did on it, the night and day kind of sunset going on. This one, very basic, nothing really to say about that. And this was a practice, clearly. So that's it from my Johanna Basford Artist Editions. Okay, next we have Alan Roberts, one of my favourite illustrators because, of course, it's all about horror. So this is Beauty of Horror, the first book. It is an old copy because it doesn't have all of the red foiling on it. So this is one of the very first copies, I think. Let's have a look what I've done. So there's this one, which my son chose. I asked him to choose a page for me and he chose this one. So I turned it into, obviously it's stained glass windows, but I did this whole background of brickwork, I suppose, although looking back at it now, the bricks are all quite shiny, which stonework normally isn't very shiny unless it's been varnished or whatever. But yeah, I think it works. Like I said, adding a background on something makes it feel complete for me. It's something I want to carry on exploring this year. And then we've got this one, which I love. So I'll start you from this side because it's once it's opened, it's quite a long book, so I can't get it all on screen without zooming out, and then it messes the colour up. So yeah, so this is the one that I did a brick tutorial for. So if you type brick into my channel, you will find this tutorial of how to create this brickwork, and it looks a lot better to me. It looks a lot more textured. So yeah, there's that one. And there's Juliana. I like the blends in this. I wanted this rug to feel like it was a bit of a, maybe like a portal or a hole down into hell or whatever, I don't know. But I coloured it like that. So what else do we have? There's this one, which I think came out really good. I quite like the shine on the blood. It's not very realistic. I've done more realistic blood, but this one, it's pretty good. So yeah, I like that one. This one is a tutorial that I did for Zombie Skin. So I've not finished it. It wasn't intended to be a whip. It was just me doing a tutorial video and using this illustration. So maybe I'll finish it one day. There's this one that I absolutely hate because I just did it with solid block colouring with water-based pens. So there's bits everywhere that you can see where the pens have overlapped, and it's not smooth and it's not got the wow factor for me. So yeah, I don't like that one. Then what else? I think there's this one. This is the first page that I think I completed in this book. Again, if I was doing this now, I would do it with pencil because it's done with water-based pens, and I would put a background in there, even if it was just a simple sky gradient. But yeah, it's just not, it's just very basic and very flat, I think. But I like the colours. I like the colours that I've chosen. And then I did the Lost Items colouring. And I think that might be it. Yep. So that's book 1. Then we've got Beauty of Horror 2, Juliana's Creepatorium. So let's go through. This one I absolutely adore. Now, this is obviously an image from The Shining, and it's the twins, the Grady twins, and I've added the little red rum on the wall there because there wasn't a mirror to do it on. And I used a reference photo of a still from the film to get all of the colours correct. I even drew in the flowers that you can see on the wallpaper, the floral wallpaper, because they weren't there in this illustration, and I wanted to make it really true to the original still. So that's what I've done, and I love it. And then there's this one, which I like the main part of it that I've coloured, the main illustration, but then I decided to add in loads of skulls, and some of them are a little bit wonky and it's not my favourite, but it's all right. You know, I think at a glance with all the skulls, it looks pretty good. It's just, I would do things differently if I coloured it again. And there's this one that I did with water-based pencils. So I can't remember if they were Inktense or something different. It's hard to tell really, but it's all right for what it is. And there's this one which I really like because it's bright and it's got lots of colour gradients and blends on it. So it's pretty cool. And then there's this one which I love. It looks like some of the paint that I used on the back. I don't know what paint it was, but it's rubbed off a bit. But I really like it because, excuse me, it is a pop of colour. You know, you've got the blue, the green and the yellow, and obviously the red for the blood, and the hair's really cool. So yeah, enjoyed colouring that one. Any more for any more? No. Now the next book is Beauty of Horror 3 Haunted Playgrounds. So this is a fun book. Let's see what I coloured. So there's this Whack-A-Soul, obviously meant to be whack-a-mole, and I love the clown. Again, it's just so bright, so vibrant, and I actually use neon pencils on the text, which I don't normally use because they're pretty crap to use, neon pencils. If you've got any recommendations for good neon pencils that aren't all the pigment and binder separating and stuff, please let me know. So yeah, there's that one. And there's this one which I love. Again, it's a lot of colour, it's a lot of bright vibrant gradients, and yeah, it's cool. I think this book, Haunted Playgrounds, it definitely needs lots of different colours, because when we imagine circus and things, it's always got lots of bright colours. This was one I started and clearly didn't finish. Again, I've got so many more whips than I thought I had. If you'd have asked me how many pages do you think that you've got not completed, I would have said a handful, if that, but clearly I'm wrong. This one I really enjoyed doing because it was the nun, but I can't remember what these two characters were, or if this was still Annabelle and this was something else. But I don't know if you can see, but I've done a lot of sort of restorative work on it and trying to cover the original lines, because this person, I think he was just a ventriloquist, and I've turned him into the crooked man from The Conjuring. So all of this is like acrylic pen that I've put over the top and tried to draw around it. So technically it's not my best colouring, there's lots of grit and grain and stuff, but I think that kind of works, that grungy feel in these books, so I'm not too bothered about that. Then we've got this one, which, as you can see, I've not done the border. The only thing that I don't know if I would say dislike, but I don't prefer about Alan Robert books is the intricate borders, because I get bored colouring them. So quite oftentimes I'll either black them out or completely paint them one colour, or just leave them alone. And again, I really like this one. I think the hair is probably the best thing about this, even though it's quite all over the place. I think I have managed to create the black frizzy shiny hair just by colouring everything black and then putting in white gel pen, sort of squiggles everywhere. I think it has created that look, and the eyeballs are pretty cool. So that's that one. This is going to be the longest video I've ever done. I can tell. Now we have my absolute favourite Alan Robert book. This is Beauty of Horror 4 Creature Feature, and it's all based around popular horror movies, so that's why I love it. So let's have a look what I've coloured in here then. So we've got Saw, first of all. Now, yes, so I'm just trying to remember, but these jigsaw pieces were definitely in the original illustration, because I would not have been able to do them as straight as they are. So I know that they were in the original book, but I think I used distress inks for the background, and then I went over all the lines of the whatchamacallits, jigsaw pieces. And again, Saw is one of my favourite films, you know, the Saw franchise, and it's just really cool. I love Billy the Puppet. I've coloured him quite a few times, so yeah, really like that one. What's next? This one, I love this one. So this is The Ring, and we've got Samara climbing out of the well, and I did some, I think it was pastel pencil rings around the edge there just to fill up the space a little bit. But the thing I like most about this is this particular skin tone. I did the same kind of tone on the Hanna Karlzon Atlantis floating bust, like oxidized copper, but this is more the colour of Samara's skin in the video, because the one thing that I love, I mean, I love a lot about The Ring, it's one of my absolute favourite horror films, The Ring, and one thing that I love about it is the colour. So it's very washed out, very pale, icy kind of blue colours, and the whole film is like that. There's like a what would the word be? There's like a filter over the whole film with these kind of colours. So yeah, I enjoyed that, and I put a little bit of this blue-green into the stonework as well, just to give it that look. So yes, really enjoyed doing that one. Then there's this one, double page spread. I think this was the first thing that I coloured in the book when I got it. So we've got The Shining, which again is one of my favourite classic horrors. It has some chrome paint. Can you see that? Yeah, chrome paint on the axe, and also on this side it's chromed as well. I have gone over it with sellotape because I think it was falling out. That's another thing about the beauty of horror books. As much as I love them, they do come apart quite easily. So I covered it all in tape, and yeah, I love it. I love it. Again, I've tried to keep to the original stills of the movie, and I've got the exact sort of patterns and clothing colours that she was wearing in the film. Same with Jack. So yeah, and I love the background being the shining carpet. So this one is that's one of my all-time favourite colouring pages that I've done, and it's the Bates Motel double page spread. So I use Neo Colour 2 on the background. The main thing that I love about this page is the neon sign. I was able to recreate the glow of a blue neon sign, I think, or I did it as best of my ability anyway. And then I used Neo Colour 2 to do all the foliage, because there was such a large expanse of foliage, and I just thought, I don't know how to make this look realistic in such a large area, so I'm just going to go over with different greens and browns, and it works, I think. I've got I think it's a YouTube short tutorial of how to colour these leaves, if you want to go and find that. And then obviously we've got the house, which I really like. I think I used French. I think I used a lot of different greys actually. I can see French grey, warm grey and cool grey, so all the greys we used. And I like the white gel pen dragging that I've done to try and get light coming down. I probably would do that now with a yellow acrylic, but yeah. And I've also put a little silhouette. I like putting little silhouettes in windows to make things look spooky. So there's Norman Bates' mum, and yeah, I put some little bats in there as well. And then this one is another double page spread, and I tried to make the seating look as velvet as I possibly could. So there's no high contrast, high shine on there. It just looks quite matte, but that is what I was going for. And again, I always look at references and the original characters when I'm colouring things like this that have a basis in popular culture, and try and emulate that as best I can. So there's Jason, there's what's his face from that very first, or one of the first horror films. Then we've got Ghostface and Freddy and Leatherface. We've got Frankenstein. This is the Attack of the Mutants, I think. And Creature from the Black Lagoon, Wolfman, another one of those that was one of the very first horrors. I can't remember the name. The Nun from The Conjuring, Michael Myers, my favourite ever horror character, Hannibal Lecter, and Chucky. So yeah, enjoyed that one. It was a lot of work and a lot of repetition on the seats, so I'm quite surprised that I actually took it on, because I'm not about repetition. And I think that's it for this book. Definitely could do more in here because I love anything to do with horror films. But there you go, that's that one. And the next one is, oh, I forgot to put that thing back in. Let me do it now because I will forget. Yeah, there we go. Right, the next one is Beauty of Horror 5, Haunt of Fame. So this is all about famous people, actors, singers, directors, and all that stuff. So again, it's not my favourite Alan book, but you know, because there's a lot of people, a lot of characters in here that I've got no affiliation with. You know, John Lennon, not interested. Beatles are overrated, sue me. I do love David Bowie, but not to the extent that I would enjoy really colouring it. But anyway, this is the one that I chose to colour, and it is Sid Vicious and Nancy from Sid from the Sex Pistols. So I made sure that I did the Union Jack flag in the background, and just gave it those neon punk kind of colours. I don't think I've coloured anything else in here. No, like I say, it's not one of my favourites. And then we've got the Beauty of Horror 6, Famous Monster Pieces. So this is all about classic art, so like Van Gogh and things like that, but turned horror. once Alan gets his spin on it, he turns it all into his horror style. So again, it's not one that I would rush to. This page I have actually coloured, but it was a download, a free download I think, that I coloured in, and it'll be in my book where I've got my single sheets, so I might get that out at the end so you can have a look at my single sheets. This is the one I chose to colour for the review. I blacked out that border again because I'm not into colouring all those intricate borders, and then I put black all around it, and then I thought I want it to look a little bit more gross, so I put red paint around it as well, so it's that mix of red and black kind of blood colours. And yeah, it's all right. But look, this is coming out. This is what I mean about the binding of these books. But I really love, again, I looked at the reference photo of the Scream, the original painting, and I love the swirly effect that I was able to create with Neo colours. And of course we've got Ghostface because it's the Scream. And I think that's it. Next is The Beauty of Horror Haunted Holidays, which I don't think I've actually coloured in because I have the two books that were amalgamated to create this book. I already have the two separate books that I've coloured in, so I don't think I've coloured in this one. This is just a larger single-sided version of those books, which are these two here. So we've got Beauty of Horror, Ghosts of Christmas, and Tricks and Treats. So we've got Halloween and Christmas, and that's what you'll find in that larger book. So in Tricks and Treats, we've got this one. Pretty sure I did this on video. I either did it as a colour along on a video or as a live, but I remember filming this, so I must have done. So we've got little Jack-o'-lantern man. And then there's this one, which a lot of people did not like when they saw it because it just looks too gross. And yeah, I know, but it's horror. What do you expect? So I obviously dripped, I think, ink on here as well. And yeah, it turned out all right. Let's have a look at Ghosts of Christmas. See what I coloured in here. This one. So again, you can see I've blacked out that border, but I've left it so that you can still see the lines of the border underneath. So it's almost like it was done like that on purpose. I really like the purple gradient that I've done in the background. It helps to make the page feel quite cold. And yeah, it's all right. Are you still taking shots every time I say it's all right? Because you'll be, you know, absolutely gone by now. Then we've got The Beauty of Horror 567 Backwards Records. So this is all about music, musicians. It tells you in the back who they are. We've got Kraftwerk, Alice in Chains, Madonna, Prince, Blondie, Jimi Hendrix, Katy Perry, Dolly Parton. They're all in here. So which one did I colour? Again, I know I've not done much in this book. Of course, it was this one that's the Shining reference. So this was a Prince album, I believe, and the album cover looked like this, and it had the same text, but obviously it didn't say Red Rum, Danny Torrance and The Overlook. I just picked this one because of The Shining, and I love The Shining. It is my comfort film, oddly enough. But yeah, I tried to colour it. I can't remember what the original looked like, but I think I copied some bits of the original. But obviously I'm using a lot of Shining colours, red and orange, so I must not have looked at the original album cover that much, but I did my best anyway, and I like it. So the next one is this one, which is it's the most recent one, isn't it? Guliana Sanctuary for Monsters. It doesn't have a Beauty of Horror 7 on it. It just says Sanctuary for Monsters. So this is one that I reviewed not long ago, and I read the entire book because it is a storybook. It's completely different to Alan's previous because it has a story running along through, and I read the entire story. So if you want to go and listen to me badger on about the book and read the whole thing, then you're welcome to. So this is a little bit that I've coloured in. We've got like a kind of Lord of the Rings eye going on there actually, but it's meant to be a big monster, like this guy. It's meant to be this guy. And then I've definitely coloured something else. I think I've coloured quite a few bits, and that's how I was going to do this book, is just keep colouring bits and bobs. So I've coloured this pencil that has a skull tied to it. I've used some mossy green within the skull, lots of eggshell and that kind of colour. So not grey, more of a warm, dirty colour for the skull. So that turned out all right. Then I've coloured Agatha. on this page. She's one of the main characters of this book, and if I continue to fill this book up, I will be colouring Agatha in the same palette as this. So the same purple, the same red hair, so it all matches in. Then I coloured Giuliana breaking free of the coffin, I think she arrived in a coffin or a crate. Anyway, she's breaking free there, and I've coloured her in. And was there any other? Oh, I've done a little cog. That's pretty nice, actually. So that looks quite metallic, doesn't it? Did a good job on that one. I've coloured, this isn't great looking back. It's like a velvet cushioned lining of the elevator, the lift that Agatha's coming up in, but I don't think I did it to the best of my ability, to be honest. And then I've done these eyes, which are pretty cool, blood drips. And I coloured Agatha's odds and ends, so this is the shop. And I really like this. I love the purple, the red and the black just being the main colours. And then I've created stained glass windows. So these were just normal windows, and I've added in black lines here and there and, you know, created that stained glass look. And I think that's all I've done in that book. Then we have The Beauty of Horror Tarot. So this is another different format book. It's completely different size and it's thicker, and it's all about tarot cards. So Alan has drawn every single tarot card in the 50, is there 56 tarot cards? I can't remember. And he's redrawn them all, but still in keeping with the original imagery and the original symbolic nature of the cards. And I have done quite a lot in this book. Well, I've done all of the major arcana. So if we just go to the start, this is the major arcana title page, and you can see I've been dripping paint everywhere and made it look a bit bloody and gross. Same on the cards, I've added textured paint and they look a bit grim and a bit, you wouldn't really want to touch them, would you? On there. And then we've got the Fool. So these are one-sided, but you do have the card meanings on the back. So we've got the Fool, the Magician, the High Priestess. I love the gradient that I've done on this dress, going right from blue up to like a raspberry colour. We've got the Empress, the Emperor, nice sky gradient there, the Hierophant, done a bit of Northern Lights going on, the Lovers, the Chariot. I love this, like a soapbox car in the middle of the desert. Strength, the Hermit, which I tried to do a bit of light glow on there, but it's funny because I can look back at older work that I've done and see a better technique of lighting than I do more recently. So I'm very up and down, you know, with my colouring. I don't tend to, I mean, I have improved if we're going on a line like that over 10 years, but I have often done things years ago that I wouldn't even think to do now, or it wouldn't look as good as I do it now, which is really weird. It's got the Hermit, Wheel of Fortune, Justice. Look at this electricity I've managed to capture. That's pretty cool. The Hanged Man, which is again a gorgeous gradient. We've got Death. Kept the colours really simple on this, just red and green. Temperance. The Devil. He looks pretty cool. I was thinking of, you remember Tribute, that song that came out by Tenacious D, and they had, what's his name? Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters. I think he played the devil, if I'm remembering right, and that's kind of the look I wanted to achieve. And I really like the flames in the background, did quite well on that. Oh, then we have one of the worst cards in the tarot deck. People think it's Death and it's not, it's the Tower. So I've obviously tried to create some glow of the fire at the top of the building here, so that's quite cool. Then we've got the Star, the Moon, the Sun, and Judgment. I like the wings on this, they're very pastel. And the World. So that's all of the major arcana coloured. I'm not sure if I started any of the minor arcana. No, I didn't. But yeah, I love this book. It's nice and thick and chunky, and it's just, you know, it's got that tactile feel about it. Now, Alan has brought out a Beetlejuice colouring book. And what's the other one that he did? He did Beetlejuice, and he did, one before that as well, and I can't remember. But oh yeah, Universal Monsters. Now I can't find my copies. I think I've lent Universal Monsters to a friend. Beetlejuice, I can't remember where I've put it, but this is one of the same format of those books, and it's the Conjuring Universe. This is his latest one, and I've coloured this page. So I did water-based pens. I think it was actually these, the Zig clean colour brush pens for the majority of it, and then some pencil just to give contour and depth and shading and stuff. But I tried to keep the colour palette really 60s feeling, 60s, 70s, so that's why there's a lot of clashing purple and orange and green going on. But I like how it turned out. I think my favourite thing has got to be the dress, and it was so easy. I've just used one single grey pen and followed Alan's lines, but kept the grey away from the lines, so there's a little bit of a gap in some areas, and that's just created a natural dirty white fabric fold look. So yeah, that was super simple. So there's that one, and that is everything for Alan Robert. I'll just show you, I'm creating my own tarot book at the moment, and I know a lot of you aren't interested in tarot and you find it demonic and all that kind of stuff. I've had all the comments in the past, and I completely respect if you feel like that. To me, it's fun. I enjoy doing it. We have tarot reading nights, and I do it for my family, and it's just a laugh, you know, and I don't look into it any deeper than that. And all the tarot readings I've done have been very strangely accurate. So I do think there's something there, but it's fun, you know. I'm quite a spiritual person, and yeah, anyway, I'm going on and on, but let me get my tarot book just to show you an insight into what I've been doing last few evenings. Right, so this is my original tarot book that I wrote myself, and you can see it's got tabs all down the sides. That's the wrong way around. Of tarot, pentacles, wands, cups, swords. Then I also do Lenormand cards and Kipper cards, and then I did like spreads and practice readings. So this is how I did it. See, it's coming apart, that's why I'm doing it again. Everything is handwritten, and it's all my personal feelings about the card and the personal things that I get from the cards, also mixed in with, you know, the general meanings of the cards, but things that make sense to me when I look at the cards. So it goes all the way through, and everything's all been handwritten, and it took me ages but yeah, it was fun. So I'm redoing it. I've got this big A4 lined book, and I only just started this last night, so I've not done much in it yet, but I got some sticker paper and printed off an image of each card. So this is going to be a double page spread for the Fool. I wanted more room as well than that other book could give me, so this is how I'm doing it. And you can see every double page has its own tarot card, and I'm going to be doing a big title of the card itself and try and lay it out really nicely, and this is going to hopefully stick with me until, well, forever, you know, so I can just look back in because I'm really crap at memorizing stuff. So I have to keep looking in my book, and it makes me look like I don't know what I'm doing, but I just can't memorize. So yeah, and then there's the Lenormand cards. They're a bit bigger. So yeah, that's what I've been doing the last few evenings, is cutting and sticking in my new tarot book. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you that just as a little bit of, I don't know, what do they call it? Behind the scenes, I guess. Right, next artist. Next up is Jasmine Becket-Griffith, and I'm starting with the first book, which is just Jasmine Becket-Griffith colouring book. So these books are produced really nicely, and Jasmine's work is gorgeous. This is the first one that I did, I think, and it's all alcohol markers because they are one-sided. You do have writing on the back, you know, a little bit of Jasmine talking about what the inspiration was for her original paintings. So there's that one. What else have I done in here? This one that I really like. It's just quite simple. The colours are simple. And the hair, I quite like the blend of the hair that I've managed to do there. Looks almost glowy. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Again, this is quite some time ago. This was a video that I did as a tutorial for how to colour skin. Different shades of skin. So you can see we've got a really pale one. We've got more of an olivey tanned tone, and then just a little bit deeper, and then we've got what I tried to do as a black tone, but I find that so difficult, and I don't know why. I need to really practice my skin tones of all different types, because I'm just not very good doing black, and I don't know why. This is amazing. So when I say this is amazing, I'm not blowing my own horn, I promise. But I just really enjoyed colouring this one, is what I mean. So we've got the velvet chair going on again. And the hair is a tutorial for how to colour shiny black hair. That's what it's called. And yeah, I just really enjoyed it. The background I was worried about, because again, it's lots of foliage that isn't really outlined. It's just there, you know, because obviously Jasmine painted these as oil on canvas, I think. So she would have done a lot of painterly stuff, but this is just an outline. And I'm like, how do I fill that? So I just did loads of different greens with strokes going up and down. And I didn't know what this bit was. It probably a wall of some sort, but I just coloured it shiny anyway. But yeah, really enjoyed that one. Again, the colours really stand out. And I tried to keep the background colours quite muted so that she would be in focus. As for the cat fur, I don't even think I've tried to attempt fur on this one. It's just a gradient. So that's the first book. Then we've got Jasmine Becket-Griffith's Halloween colouring book. And the first one I did was this, and this background, it seems to have rubbed off a bit. This background was, I don't know if it was Inktense or some kind of water-based pencil. But I like how I've done the tights, and I've again kept the palette limited. We've got purple, green and black, and that's about it, with the red contrast on the back as well. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot in this video. You probably fell asleep by now. This was a small one that I did, and I was trying to recreate Jasmine's original painting. So I've gone as close as I can to that original. I've used the exact same colours and just made it look as close as I could make it look, really. So that was a little challenge for me. Any more for any more? I feel like I have coloured more. So yes, this one was just done, yeah, just done with water-based pens, I think, because I can see all the stroke lines. I've put a little bit of gold on her corset. That's quite pretty. But yeah, again, not my best work. And I believe this is a book that I got signed when we met Jasmine at the Colour in Heaven event down in Bath in the UK. And that was such a fun day. The best thing about it all was meeting you guys, the people that were there that day. Absolutely, I had such a fantastic time meeting you all. I was so nervous, but I enjoyed it immensely. So then we've got Mermaids. Sorry, there we go. Mermaids colouring book. And this is one that I think I did for a single colour challenge. So I think it was use only, was it use only reds? But then I'm seeing purple. So I believe it was a challenge of use only red though. So I don't know why. Unless this has gone purple. Unless I just chose to include red violet. I don't know. But I'm sure it was some kind of challenge. And then there's this one, which is one of my all-time favourites. I really enjoy how the skin turned out, even though it's a little bit mottled and things in places, too many layers. I do enjoy this kind of skin tone, and the green hair just sets it apart for me. So yeah, love that one. So that's Mermaids. Then we've got Alice in Wonderland, which I've never been a massive fan of, but you can't deny the beauty of the illustrations. So that's what makes it for me, rather than it being Alice in Wonderland themed. But it's actually quite handy because you've got references for a lot of these paintings, because Alice in Wonderland, it's a whole thing, it's a movie, it's a whatever. So anyway, this is obviously a whip, and I know exactly why I stopped this page. And it's, I think I was using Polychromos pencils, and it started to eat up the page. It started to tear up a bit. So I don't think polys work well with this paper that are in Jasmine's books. You can see on her shirt it started to pull up the paper. You can see here the layers have started to ruin the paper a bit on her skirt. And yeah, so I wasn't happy, but I do think it can be saved. I've just got to think on it a bit. I won't be using polys again, but I'm going to have to try and match the background colours as well as I can with another set, because I've got all of these cogs to do. So maybe I will return to that at some point. And then there's this one, which I really enjoyed doing. I loved colouring all the different cakes, trying to make them look as realistic as I can possibly achieve with my skill set. And the little blueberries, the sliced strawberry. Yeah, really enjoy that one. And I think that's it. Then we have our most recent, which is the Dragon Lane colouring book. So I have reviewed this. reviewed all of these, like I said, so and this is amazing. So I tried to again emulate Jasmine's original painting, and this is as close as I could get. Now the skin isn't amazing. You can see the pencils have, because it's very smooth, this paper, so pencils aren't amazing on it, but you can still get really nice effects. But when it comes to things that should be smooth like skin, I find it quite difficult on this paper. However, I think I've done as good of a job as I possibly could in trying to emulate the original painting, and I just think this page is just, it just pops at you, you know. And that's all credit to Jasmine for her original palette. You can see just the dragon's face and all the different sections. They look like jelly beans, you know. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that one, and I think that's the only one I've done so far because it's quite a recent purchase. So that is all of Jasmine's books. We have Christine Karen. So we're starting off with her book Wildflower Folk, and it's actually made by the same printing company, the publishers that make Jasmine's books, but I feel the paper is different in this. This is a bit more toothy. It's not as smooth, still quite smooth, but not as smooth. So Wildflower Folk, here's the first one that I did. I think I may have done a tutorial for the wizard's skin. I've got a feeling I did. You'll have to type it in and have a look. But yeah, and look, I've got my dishevelled animal. Terrible. But again, I just enjoy the way it's come out, and I've just stuck to the blue and the gold, really. So let's see if I've done anything else. Possibly not. No, so that's Wildflower Folk. Then we've got Wondrous Folk. These again aren't very old releases, so that's the reason I've not done much in them. There's Jewel Thief. Did I do I don't know if I did no, I didn't. I'm trying to think if I did a video for it, but I don't think I did. My favourite thing about this is probably the skin and the hair. So I feel like she's got a lovely pink complexion, and the hair has bits of that pink in it running throughout as well. So I enjoy, you know, looking at this and thinking that I've made a good job on that hair. So the lace I'm not a fan of because I tried my best to make it look sheer, and it's that kind of tulle material, is that what they call it? But I don't know if it worked. So that is Wondrous Folk. Then we've got Little Folk, which is her most recent release, and this is the one that I've done, Hen House Gossip. So you see what I mean about when you put a background in, it just makes the page feel complete. I could have left this sky alone, and I think it would have just looked so stark, just having a big expanse of white. So I did a gradient, and again, I did struggle in some areas with keeping that gradient smooth, but overall, you know, if you're not focusing in on little bits that you don't like, overall it's quite a nice page. And yeah, the colours, the red, the yellow, I've kept them going throughout the chickens, and I really like the rooster's tail as well. And yeah, it's a good page. So that is Christine Karen. Then we have Emily Lydhall-Oberg, and this is a rebuy of this book. So I originally had this book coloured in it, had to sell it, and I've rebought it since. So I'm not sure if there's actually anything done in here. Oh yes, there is. There's this one. So this is all the teddies on the page. Fantastic fun to colour. I've tried to make the strawberries and the lemons quite realistic, or at least cartoon realism, you know. And I love the textures that I've created on the teddies as well. So these ones look quite plush, and you can almost feel the texture that they would be. And this one, I don't know about this one actually, because it looks a little bit scratchy, but anyway, this teddy looks really nice as well. You can just imagine stroking it and just having that chenille feel to it. So yeah, enjoyed it. Again, explosion of colour is always my favourite thing, but I have coloured other pages in this book. I just don't own that book anymore. So then we've got Sagor Oksagna, which is the book that Emily brought out last year, Fairy Tales and Folklore. This was the original of it that went out of print. And then we did a petition, and we got loads of people signing it, and eventually a publisher picked it up, and it's now been reproduced. So this is the original, and it was my favourite colouring book for a long time, so I've done quite a few. So we've got Santa in the back, which is the only one that doesn't feature in Fairy Tales and Folklore, but Emily gave it as a free download, I think. So we've got Santa, we've got the little bear in his snow globe, and this was actually just a bear sat on top of suitcases, but I, as you can see quite badly, drew a big circle, drew around a plate or something and made it into a snow globe. And his fur, again, really messy, but a little bit more of a curl to it, I suppose. I don't know what I'm doing with fur. Then we've got the apple, nice and shiny, almost looks like a glass apple, doesn't it, that you would pick off, but I quite like the petals that I've done, nice bit of texture on them. Then we've got this Winter King, I suppose you would call him, and the good thing about me having this book is that I can now redo these pages in the new book if I want to do something different. However, I feel like all the pages I've coloured in this book I'm really, really happy with, and I wouldn't do anything better or different. So I'm like, do I really colour them again? So yeah, I like this one, all the ice kind of colours, keeping it quite cold. This one was a tutorial for fur. How to colour crap fur, basically. I think I called it how to colour teddy bear fur, because it's all over the place and it just looks like you could sink your fingers into it. But yeah, that's a tutorial. And then there's this one, which I used something for the back. It must have been some kind of pastel. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat today. Some kind of pastel on the back. It's not the best, but I do like how I coloured the main part of the image. Then there's this one, which is a nighttime scene. I've tried to create a bit of a glow around it, but this was a long time ago that I coloured this. I quite like the colours that I've used for the butterflies, and I do like my little leprechaun man. And then there's this one, which again looks quite floaty on the page, needs a desk or a table or something to ground it, and then some background in it, I think. But another one that I had fun colouring, but it's not one of my favourites. Then there's this one, which I did as a colour along. I can't remember what I called it though, but I remember doing it because I think I sat on my settee and I got the camera to face onto it. I've got like a little tripod light thing. I remember doing it anyway, but I love the pearl and I love the inside of the clamshell as well. I really like that gradient. So that was fun. Then we've got the Santa's elves. Again, really bright, vibrant. And then this one for the King Trident. This is Sleeping Beauty, and there's nothing different I would do about this page, so I don't know why I'd want to colour it again, only if to keep it in one book. But yeah, it's really nice. And this one is gorgeous. I did this with Pablo's, which I can't stand Pablo pencils. I need to do more work with them on different papers, but to me they're just really hard and really hard work. But I enjoy the result, so this is the result that came out of it, and I think it's really nice. Then there's this one, which again I would change nothing about this at all. Same with this one as well, I would change nothing. And I've tried again to do those semi-realistic strawberries. I love the colours on this page. Then there was a tutorial for fabric folds, so making your fabric look shiny and folded. So there's a tutorial for that. This one is a whip. I started off with my Inktense crystals, so you've seen them quite a few times now. And then I've done his hair. I think all of this is done in Inktense actually, now I'm looking at it. I like his beard though, I like the colour. And then there's this one, which again wouldn't change anything about it except to maybe think of putting some kind of background in or just a basic colour. But I love the vintage desaturated colours of this. Like I said before, I don't do it enough because I'm always all about the bold and vibrant, but this I really enjoy. I just love the colours together. It's not a usual colour palette, is it, that you would think of? So, and what else? There's this one, love it, again with the strawberries and the explosion of colour. Wouldn't change that one. And then we've got a few more teddy bear mice with some flowers coloured in but nothing else. So that's another whip I've got that I didn't know I had. Nothing I'd change about this page whatsoever. I love it. I even love that the white gel pen lines have taken on the colour underneath, because I think it would be too stark if they were white. So that's a happy accident. And then we've got the beginning page, the nameplate page. So that's Sagot Sagnor, the original. Now we have Fairy Tales and Folklore, which is Sagor 2.0. So let's open this up. This is my nameplate page, and if we just compare it to the nameplate page in Sagor. Oh, there's one I missed, the front one. Oh, look, I used the KJ holographic paints on the title. So if we compare it, obviously I've gone for quite a bright one on this one, and then this one I wanted to do it different because I'd already coloured it before. I wanted to do it different, so it's completely pastel, this one. And I have remembered to put little sheets in between, which is good. There's my forward, written by me. Still so weird to see that. It couldn't have happened without all of you guys. All I did was set the petition up and talk to a publisher. It wasn't anything. If it hadn't have got all the signatures, then it wouldn't have happened. So it's all thanks to you. Now this is the page that I've coloured, probably as the first one, I think. I used some watercolour around here, but it went off a bit. So, but you can see I've used Karen's Ghost Glitters again on top of the mountains. Beautiful. Let's start from the back. This one I really love. So we've got the keyhole, lots of purple to orange gradients going on here, and this fur isn't actually too bad, is it? It looks quite smart and combed, so I must be doing something right. Again with the Ghost Glitters on the mountains, I think that just looks really nice. I also used the gold around the keyhole as well. Then we've got this one, which is my Technicolor Explosion. So I wanted to use pretty much every colour and just make it look really, really vibrant. And I think I've achieved that. Now this actually is my favourite kind of fur to do. This is curly fur. And it is very, very simple. Little curls. Little, you know, C shapes with the pencil. It looks a lot more comfy and cosy fur, you know. So I like that fur better. That's probably where my fur talent lies. You tell I've been talking for so long, I keep having to clear my throat, and I know it must sound horrible, but my throat's going. This is my dragon page. Quite like it. I like the contrast between the yellow and green and the red and purple. What else? I've got this lovely fox page. So again, this one was more of a gradient fur than a textured fur, which I think looks quite nice, makes them look really soft. And any more? Yep, so this was a colour along. Can't remember what I called it, but it was a colour along. And again, I've stuck to quite vintage colours for all of this really, and it worked quite nicely. I really like this dusky pink with the desaturated blue-green. And then there's this one, which I used some KJ chrome paint on the bottle, so you can see how shiny that is. And I used some really nice woodland colours, because normally I would just go straight in with the bright red, orange, vibrant gradients with mushrooms, but I used a lot of woodland colours. There's some gold on that bottle as well, and I really like that. A bit more realistic. And there's this one, which is like the Snow Queen, and you can see all the icicles have glittery, I don't know if I think it might have been a gel pen I used to make these glittery icicles. And then there's this one. I feel like I did a tutorial for something on this page. Was it the soup can, or did I? I can't remember. But anyway, you can see that these two mice have the long fur, and then this deer has the curly fur, and I really, really prefer the curly fur. So it gives it just such a softness, and I just love this page overall. Any more? Yeah, this one. Oh, I've already shown you that one. I think that might be all of my pages from Fairy Tales and Folklore so far. And then we have Emily's newest release. It's just come out, Fantasy World colouring book. So I've not done too many in here because it's very new. Oh, there is one in here that I'm not allowed to show you because I've just finished colouring it for a full book colour along collaborative thing that Piggy Pens is doing on her channel. So she's allocated everyone a page and we've all coloured it, and then she's going to do a whole video of the book with everybody's coloured page in it, and I'm not allowed to show it you before. I might give you a little tiny sneak peek because I'm a bit of a rebel, but nothing major. Let me do this, and then I'm going to flick past it and see if you can catch it. There it went. Anyways, this is one that I've finished very recently, and I did a pastel cloud tutorial for this page. Love how it turned out. I started it when I was staying with my nana, because as you know, she's been poorly, and she really liked it. She said, oh, you're so talented. Bless her. And then I finished it obviously after she passed away. But I love the colours. And what else have I done? Have I not done anything else in the book? I feel like I have. Oh yeah, of course, this one. So this is the main one that I did, the first one that I did, and I used the Distress Oxides as the background before I did my Distress Oxide background video. So that's what I really love about the oxides. You can create such a seamless blend, and it's so soft and beautiful, and that is why I'm desperate to get my hands on some more Distress Oxides. Why are they so expensive? It's so annoying. But anyway, love this page. Again, it's not something I would change anything about. And the whole page is coloured, and it looks so finished and completed. So yeah, I think that's it, apart from the one I can't show you. Yep, that's it. So that's Emily's books. The random books that we've got here. So this is Sarah Renee Clark's Vibrant Wilds. And I've done a couple of things in this book, but I'm treating it as a mixed media experiment book. That's what its purpose is for me. Look at that. So this one is completely mixed media. I coloured the hair with pencil. I think I painted or something the arms. Then all of her clothing and the bow is washi tape cut up. These are leaves that I cut out of patterned papers. So you can see there's trees in this leaf. And then I added the lines on. It don't look very good. Then I printed out an image of sand and cut around, and it was all a whole faff, but it was really enjoyable. And then I ripped some pieces of brown pattern paper for the rocks, ripped some blue blue gradiated paper, and made sure you could see the rip so it looked like waves. And then I cut out pictures of clouds, and I used different gradients of paper on the sky as well. And it's just a mishmash, and I quite like it because it's definitely not perfect, but it's just so different, and it was so enjoyable for me to do. So there's that one. Then there's this one, which I did the whole turtle shell with gel pens. So just look at that. Glitter City. And then I used a really thick acrylic to create the coral. And you can feel it's ribbed. You can feel the texture. Same with the bits of foliage as well around the side. And then the other bits of the turtle I did with coloured pencils. And then the back was also acrylic paint, I think. So again, this is just an experiment book. That's how I'm seeing it. This one was a big collage, so the actual wheel has all been done in coloured pencil, and then the whole background is different ripped pieces of blue and patterned paper. So that's all been ripped up, put in, and sort of tried to be contoured around the wheel. I've then gone around the wheel with a white pen to make it stand out. And then I ripped the edges of some white printer paper to create this jagged border. So yeah, enjoy it. I've got to do more in this book, and I've got to really push myself to do different things, because I don't want this to just be a normal colouring book. This is going to be an experiment book. Next random one that came up on the shelf was this one, Journey to the Sunny Land by Anna Marcinska. I can't do names, I'm sorry. Can't do foreign names. This, where is it? Just seen it. This I did as a colour along, but I obviously did it in a different book or as a page or something, because clearly it's not coloured. But this is a colour along called Journey to the Sunny Land colour along. So you can look for that. Oh, here it is. There's 2 copies of it. So this is the colour along from Journey to the Sunny Land. And again, it's one of those where it didn't have a background, but I wanted it to look like she was stood in a really tall grass field. And I'm not an artist, and I couldn't do tall grass realistically, so I was just there with greens and browns, and it looks a bit messy, but I quite like it. I don't know why I didn't continue down on here. That's annoying. But I quite like the hair. That's a nice green, olivey green blend. So that was that, and this was a whole project. I mean, you can watch my review video of the book and find out, but it's a very special book, that one. So now we've got Airy books, and these are rebuys. Again, they're not the original books that I had, so I have coloured other pages that you might have seen on socials but they won't be in this book because I sold them. So let me find what, if I've even done anything in here. Like I said, there are pages like this one that I will have coloured in the original copy, and you'll be able to see it on my Instagram, but you won't see it here. I don't think I've actually even started that yet. Then there's Romantic Country 2, the second tale, which I can see I've done something in. So there's this one. Can't remember if this was a video, like a colour along. I can't remember. But again, I've made a stained glass window because I like doing that. And I don't really like the green. I think I originally coloured this a completely different tone, and then I just went over it with green, so you can probably see different tones behind it. I don't really like how it turned out, but it's not the worst I've ever done. I like the stonework, I like the woodwork and the stained glass, but that's about it. Anything else? Oh yes, so this was done just before or just after Christmas, I think. And again, it's one of those pages where there's loads of different elements, and I think, how am I going to keep this cohesive? But I managed to do it. So I've used mainly blue and gold on everything, and then everything else is either grey or a very light version of a different colour, so that it didn't take over the page. So you can see all of these bottles are all very desaturated or light colours. Same over here as well. I've tried to recycle as many colours as I could within the page, so it didn't just look too all over the place. But yeah, it's a Ravenclaw common room, I've decided, and my favourite thing about it is this window scene here. And I think that's it. Then we've got the third tale, which I don't think I've done, have I? Done anything in this one? Yes, I saw it just then. Oh, I know what it is. It's the colour along that I started doing after 6 years, started finishing, and I've still not finished it. This colour along is probably going to go on for about 10 years. So I started this 6 years ago when my granddad died, and then I didn't want to carry it on. And then a couple of months ago, I asked you guys, should I finish it? And everyone was like, yeah, please. And then because I'd got rid of the original book, I had to follow my own tutorial, my own colour along, and redo everything exactly as I did it. And then I've done a couple more parts of it after that, but I've still not finished it. So it's going to be one of those that just gets done when I feel like it, I think. So that's the third tale. And then there's this one, which I can't remember what it's called. It's something about round the world or fairy tales or something like that. But it's all, this is a Japanese copy, I think, so. And they always have the best paper. If you're going to buy a fairy book, try and buy a Japanese one. And it should tell you in the back somewhere. Yeah, so it should all be all Japanese like this. If it isn't, it would look, yeah, this is a US edition, so it would look English, but it doesn't have as good a paper. It's a bit smoother of a paper than the Japanese ones. So do try and buy the Japanese ones if you can source them. So I'm not sure I've done anything in this. Oh, I have this one. So this is a Halloween one, and we've got ghosties. My favourite thing by far is the pumpkin, because I've created such a glow. I've surprised myself with that one. And yeah, it's just really nice. Lots of purple and orange Halloween colours, and I did a bit of lace over her eye as well. Yeah, that was fun. Right, so that's Elly. I do have another Asian artist. I don't know whether they're Korean or Japanese or what, but yeah, I'm not sure about that. Does it tell me in the back? No. I have done a review of this book, but it's called Vu's something, and I can't remember what it's called. And it's all, again, about horror, so I love it. Let's see what I call it. You even got coloured examples in the back. So let's go through it. We've got paper dolls. It's such a fun book, this one. I need to go back to it. There's Samara coming out the telly in the ring. Then we've got Freddie. We've got that film that I've not seen about plants. Horror Shop or something. I can't remember. Shop of Horrors. And then we've got Billy the Puppet. And there's all sorts. The Necronomicon from Evil Dead. It's a really, really fun book. And you've got coloured images throughout that you can use as reference if you want. I'm sort of reviewing these books now, aren't I, rather than just getting on with it. That's why the video is so long. So I've started this one. It's got a pumpkin head Billy, pumpkin head Jason, pumpkin head Freddie. And it's really fun. I need to finish it. Did I actually finish a page in the book? I don't think so. No. Yeah, that's a fun one. Quite unusual and unpopular one. Not unpopular, but you don't see it a lot. So yeah, it's a nice one. Then we have some very recent books, literally the last few weeks. We've got these books by Sierra Trong, and it's not an artist that I was familiar with, but I'm just amazed really that it took me so long to find her, because she's absolutely amazing illustrator. This is one that I coloured with markers. It is single-sided, it's Amazon printed, so it's not the best quality, but at least it's single-sided. And then we've got Sacred Presence, which was this one. And I decided to colour it all in markers and then put loads of acrylic lines everywhere to give it a textured, unusual look. And then there's Midnight Oracle. And this is the one that I coloured. Now, Piggy Pens has done a fantastic version of this page. It's stunning. I'm amazed by it. So go and have a look if you want to have a look. But this is my version of it. And I did do a bit of glow around the fire, but not as good as Piggy Pens did it. Jo did it fantastically. And that's the 3 books from Sierra Trong. We're finally on the second shelf of books, so we're in the home stretch. Stick with me. We've got the bigger books now. Spiral of Life colouring book is massive, and it's hardback and it's beautiful. It's one of those glue bindings that's lay flat, and it's just stunning. What did I do in this one? Oh yeah, this. So I have got a tutorial for how to achieve this mythical fantasy skin, and again, just love everything about it. I love the shell, the different colours on the shell, and the different colours that I've used, the green going into the pink. I always like green and pink together. So that's that one, Spiral of Life. Then we've got the Thomas Kinkade Disney Princess colouring book. So Thomas Kinkade was a Disney artist, I think, and it tells you in the back, it's got full colour glossy pictures of his paintings. Now, this is another really long-standing one that I need to complete, but I am taking my time with this. Literally, it's been years, and I just want to get it really close to the original, which should be in here. I normally have it as a bookmark. Maybe it's come out. Where's the original? I don't know. I've cut it out and I left it in here, but it's obviously fallen out. But anyway, I'm trying to get it as close as I can to the original, but there is a lot of these bush areas up here that they're not detailed enough for me to figure out what to do in them, so it's probably just going to be gradients. So we've got the little cabin, and then I've used Stickles glitter glue to create a raised texture on all of the gemstones. So if I just put that in the light, you should see lots and lots of glitter. The Stickles glue, yeah. So I'm trying to make it look really similar to the original painting, and it's taken me a while because I've tried to do all of these light effects that Thomas did. So one day this will be finished. There's a lot of paint on this as well. So we've got Stickles, but we've also got gouache paint, which is how I created the painterly look of the bushes and the trees. Then we've got Vertical Worlds colouring book, which was one that was out of print for a long time, and then I found it the other week again in the works in the UK. But this is my original copy, and as you can see, it's one of those that I did when I very first started colouring, because it's all just water-based marker, all flat, no gradient, but kind of fun. And this is a really fun book actually. If you can get a hold of one, you should, because every single page is a different world, but vertically, right? Vertical worlds, it makes sense. Vertical department store, bed and bath, women's clothing, men's clothes, shoe shop. Vertical art museum, so there's different galleries on different levels. Vertical gymnasium, so there's lots of gym equipment. Airport, departure lounge, you know, it's a really fun, very unique book. So yeah, I would look at Vertical Zoo, Reptile House, flamingos. I would definitely recommend it if you can get a copy of this. Then we have DVS Designs, The Art of Affliction, which is a big, heavy, hardback book. And I think a lot of tattoo places have books like this just hanging around, because it's not a colouring book, it is just an art book. So if I just go through it quickly, you can see we've got pages of art, and then there's these vellum pages of original sketches inside. and it's massive, it's glossy, it's not meant for colouring, but I just thought I love it and I want to colour it, so I got a copy. So you see this is the original sketch here, and then you'd see the finished piece after. But I have coloured in it, if I can find it. It's been a long time since I picked this book up. I've definitely, oh yeah, here we go. So this was the original vellum sketch, and then we've got the one that I coloured. Now clearly I had to use markers for this because it's super glossy, it's like magazine paper, and pencils just would not fly on it at all. So I've used markers. I had a lot of fun colouring it, but it's one of the books that I enjoy looking at more than colouring, I think. You know, it's, the artwork is incredible. So yeah, I just really love the fact that I own a book of this quality. I'll see what's next. So I found Till Salmons. It was hiding. This is my artist edition Hanna Karlzon book, and let's have a quick look. So there's one I've started with skin and left, and there's one that I've completed. Love this page, one of my favourites. We've got some gold paint on there. I really like the background. It's like a watercolour wash background with lots of different dots on it. I love the lime green, you know, it's such a popping colour. I love it. So yeah, that's Till Salmons, Hanna Karlzon. So maybe I should put that back in the Hanna Karlzon bit, but I'll probably forget. Now we've got a compilation book called Lady Spring that I have not started yet, but I needed to have it in my collection because it is beautifully produced. And we have lots of artwork by Karolina Kubikowska. I can't say all of these names, but we've got Christina Novak, Grazia Salvo, and other people in here. So it's a compilation book, and the production quality is immense. So as you go through, we have a bit about the artist and their books, and then their artwork. So yeah, absolutely beautiful book. Can't wait to get started in it. And there's lots of different artists. Yeah, so that's Lady Spring. And along those lines, we have a book by Grazia Salvo, which is called Wild Soul. Again, beautifully produced book, soft touch, hardback cover, gorgeous paper, and the illustrations are just stunning. So they're kind of heavier on the grayscale, but if you like Grazia Salvo's work, I prefer her grayscale to her line art. This is the one that I coloured. I still really love it. Even though we've got the drag through hedge backwards fur going on, I think that's quite apt for the chimpanzee. I feel like their fur is quite rough, and just the woman and just everything. I love everything about it, and I was really, really proud of it when I did this one. So that's Wild Soul. Then we've got a couple of books by Christina Novak, and this is Queens of Poland. Again, you just can't get better print quality, quality of the product than you do from these artists. You know, Swedish and that kind of area of the world. Hanna Karlzon, all the books are just beautifully produced. Here's the one that I've done. Now, I like it, but I'm not in love with it. So I use stickles for the pearls, and they're really raised off the page. So that's quite nice and tactile. I'll just sit there doing that all day. I did a tutorial for the orange lily. I'm pretty sure I did. But the face, I don't think it's anything I've done. I think it was just an unusual face to begin with, and it just, something's not right. It doesn't sit right. But I like the colours I've chosen. So again, I've gone with contrasting orange and blue. I think that's all I've done in the page, but yeah. So there's Queens of Poland, and then she also has Slavic Beauties, and again, same quality. Now this is the one that's got my favourite page. You saw it in the portfolio. I adore this. I really do. I think it's beautiful. Just the orange and the purple, and then even just the bit of blue as well. I think it's beautiful. And just the silk effect that I've managed to create. See, it's like I said earlier, if I attempted a page similar now, I might not be able to do this unless I really concentrated. But then I'm impatient. I'm very impatient. I start a page and I want to get it done, and I'm trying to slow down and just enjoy the process, but it's not in my nature. Then we come to some books that I've printed and bound myself. So these are all illustrations by Mrs. Buttered. She is an artist on Patreon, and I printed them all out and used my binding machine to bind them. I've done quite a few pages. That was one that I started just to see what the colour pencils felt like on this paper. Still not pleased with those pencils. This one I love. Again, it's just one of those pages that really came together, and I'm really proud of it. I've got a tutorial of how to create the glitter effect as well. There's this one, which was just a bit of a practice to see if I could do the light source and then the dark room around it. It's not my favourite. Then there's this one, which I love, very Super Mario inspired, and yeah, I really enjoyed that one. I think I only did this at the beginning of the year. It might have been the first thing I coloured this year. Then we've got Nautical Ariel, which again I really like. It's quite sweet. And then we've got this one, which was for my video about basing with alcohol markers and using coloured pencil. So if you saw just the base colour that I did on this, it looks so flat and dull basically, and then I used pencil to really bring out all the colours, and it's a total difference. So there is a video about that. I think that's it. Is that it? Yep, I think so. So that's that one. Then there is Whimsy Girls Around the World. So this is a book by Hannah Lynn that I bought the PDF of, printed and bound it. Let's see what we've got in here. So there's that one, which is a bit like Lara Croft, Jungle Girl. And there is this one, which we did on live. So you remember when I used to do my lives? This was one of the books, one of the pages that we did on live. So you'll be able to follow that back if you want to colour this with me. And I'm just noticing some of this gold has been, because you look at the other side, because it's been pressed together on my bookshelf, it's imprinted, and some of the gold has come off. But I really like the background, the sky there, the glowing clouds. And I like how realistic I was able to make this bread look. This was a copper goblet tutorial from Helen Elliston that I followed. Yeah, it's nice. And I'm pleased with the skin as well, because I was so worried about colouring skin on live and getting it horrifically wrong. But yeah, it turned out all right. Then there's this kind of Holland page, which again, lovely colours, bright, vibrant. Enjoyed that. I think that's all I've done from that book. Yeah. Then we've got Elly Marks illustrations, so another Patreon person that I follow. Printed them out, bound them up. So I've started that, but it's not complete. I should be writing these whips down. This is a full colour along on my channel, the Hourglass colour along. I did this completely with dough and drawing pencils as well, so if you want to see how I use those, that's a good video to watch. And there's this one, which is the Hobbit house, and I love it. The green and the gold just always goes so well together. It's really pretty. Did I do any others? I don't think so. So that's that. Then we've got some, I think these are random. Oh no, they are. They're Hannah Lynn, but they're random Hannah Lynn. So there's that one, which is Hansel and Gretel, which I really like. I like the vignette that I've created around the edge as well, because it looks like you're sort of peering through. And the gingerbread house and the little jelly bean path, it's all really sweet. I'm going to need a strepsil after this, or some kind of like gargle. I really like this one. I think that the totem pole colours are spot on, and it looks really nice and smooth. I love her dress, a little exotic flower, and her hair. Really enjoy colouring Hannah Lynn images, because they are so cartoon-like and non-realistic that you don't feel you have to make them look realistic, if that makes sense. So that's just a random one. Then we've got another one that I bound, which is more random portraits. So we've got some Lana Green, some Mariola Budek. This was for that Fantasy Face tutorial. Some Jasmine in there as well. So I've got all portraits together if I decide I want to colour a portrait. This is Elly Marks again, the big book of colouring bookmarks. So I don't know if I've coloured any. Oh yeah, I have. This way around. So these are 4 bookmarks that I've coloured, and I love the turtle shell. I do have a tutorial for iridescent shells, so you can look that one up. It's a cute little shell there as well. So that was fun, just doing little strips of colouring. And then I have an Elly Marks little colouring book of Halloween. So just missed one there. This is the Ginger Beach. So even though it's Halloween, why is this in Halloween? Maybe it's because the gingerbread from Hansel and Gretel, that's a spooky story, and then it's, I don't know actually. But anyway, we've got Ginger Beach. It's Christmas in the sun, so good for Australians, I suppose. But I do like it. I like the colours. I like the bit of delicate water that I've done down here. Nothing too profesh, just nice and delicate. I think that's it. Oh no, there's another one. Oh yeah, this is the Halloween house. Very much like the one that I coloured in, oh, there's a Hannah Lynn one that I coloured, but I don't think I've shown it to you yet. Look at all that wax bloom just comes off. Very similar to that, Halloween colours, yeah, just fun. So that's all the ones that I've printed and bound myself. Now we're sort of getting into the random books. So this is Prima Princesses. It's a watercolour book, so it's got watercolour paper. And that's the bookmark that I did with watercolours. And did something else I just spotted. Oh yeah, so this is one that I did again with watercolours, and I really wanted the sort of pale painterly look. I don't really like how I did the blue in the centre of the flowers, but I like the painterly look, and did a few little flowers there. This is a good practice book for watercolours, as you can see. Watercolour mediums. So I've started this and not finished it, and I started this and I painted it with the KJ Design by Karen. There's a set of paints just like this, very vintage and soft, and I can't remember what they're called, but I'm sure she still has them. But anyway, that could do with being completed. I just don't think I want to ruin it by watercolouring the skin, but I think that was just a practice. Yeah, so it's very thick, heavy watercolour paper, so that's nice. Then we've got Faces of the Zodiac, which is by Kim White. She's no longer doing colouring books or art, I don't think. I've not heard from her for a very long time, and yeah, her art's brilliant. So if you can get hold of any of her books, you should do, because she's fantastically talented. And this one's obviously Zodiac, so we've got Virgo coloured there with alcohol markers, and Gemini, which is my star sign, coloured there, and also with some KJ gold paint. Yeah, really like that. Pink and green, I always put pink and green together. So that's Faces of the Zodiac. Then we've got meditative Garden Mandala by Delith Angarad. So she's got to be Welsh, I think, with a name like that. She must be Welsh. I love Wales. We went to Wales once, and we went to Rhyl, and it was just the most rundown, awful place. And then we went up to Llandudno, and that was actually quite nice. So if you've got any other Wales places that you would recommend, we drove back through Snowdon, or through Snowdonia, and that was stunning. Wales is beautiful, same as Scotland. But if you've got any like recommendations for places in Wales to go, or indeed anywhere in the UK, because we've got the motorhome, and now that I've got a lot more time on my hands, I'm hoping to be able to take more trips to places. So if you have any sort of special little places that you think, you know, is worth going to for a visit, let me know. Anyway, this is a book that I always wanted and never managed to get my hands on. Or did I have it once before and then I sold it? I can't remember. But anyway, the lovely Colour and Chat with Sammy sent me her copy. I don't think I've done anything in it though, but it's sort of like the ultimate mandala book. There's so many really detailed ones, but really simple ones as well. Let me find a proper detailed one for you. Some of them have really, really fine lines and loads of detail. Why aren't I finding one? Let's have a look. That's quite detailed. But yeah, it's just something, because whenever I'm anxious, I want to colour a mandala. And whenever I'm not anxious, I don't want to look at a mandala. This is a really fine line detailed one, look. So I feel like I needed a really good quality mandala book to have for when I'm feeling like that. So that's that one. Then we've got Lana Green's Garden Lady. Love Lana Green. This is a beautiful book. It's quite a nice little size, hardback. And you've got all of the original colourings in the back as well, and you also have them side by side with the illustration so you can follow them, which is exactly what I did on this one. So this is my version, this is the original, and I really tried to keep it as close as possible. I love doing that, trying to emulate art, you know, and I think I am quite good at copying art. I wouldn't be able to create art myself, but copying, I'm quite a good mimic. I'm sure I've done something else in here. Oh yeah, so this was a buddy colour with, can't remember her name. Sorry, my memory's terrible. It was a buddy colour with somebody, and we both did our versions with Charisma colour pencils because we both, oh, it was Serena. We both wanted to use our Charisma colours because they're sat on the shelf being looked at but not used because they're discontinued and everything, but we decided to use our Charismas in a colour along, and we both coloured this, and her version's beautiful. So yeah, there's that one. I don't think I've done another one. What was that big red thing then? Oh, it's that. Yeah, I don't think I've, oh yeah, I have this one. There we go. So again, I've emulated from one side to the other, and I've tried my best. The only thing I found is when I'm colouring, my pencils, my work, it tends to look so much brighter than the original, which is really nice and delicate, you know, and I can't get that same delicate look with mine. But I love the colours. I love the pink and the blue sort of gradients together. So that's Garden Lady. And then we've got this one, which is, it's a Momo book, but is it Girls with Song or Girls with Music or something? That's the problem when they're in a native language, that you can't remember what they are, but it's gorgeous. Absolutely. It's got so many different styles as well throughout. You go from like beautiful grayscale stuff to like outlines. Gorgeous book. There's the one I've coloured. I actually sat in my motorhome on my driveway and pretended I was on holiday and coloured this. I like to do that sometimes, just go and sit in Ruby, that's what we call her, and do a bit of colouring. It's got a little telly in there. So, and then you've got all these pages in the front of original artwork. So yeah, it's gorgeous. I do have another Momo book somewhere, but I don't know where it's gone. Anyways, that's just a few randoms. I'll get a few more off the shelf now. Okay, so we've got Fantasy Houses by Carla Campuis. And that, again, just like that, the last book, it has the original art next to it. And they're all different houses made of different things. Christmas house, artist house, makeup house, and all that kind of thing. So I coloured this one. You see what I mean about my colours are always brighter. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I didn't so much try to emulate with this one because this is quite flat, and I've created more shadows and highlights on mine. So, but I did, you know, sort of copy the colours. So that's that one. And then I think I started one. See, this is one of the lay flat books that the pages start popping out. That's the only thing. And then I started one in the caravan with my nana last year. But I don't think I finished it. Yeah, this jukebox page. So I was trying to create a neon tube jukebox, and I use my Woomer pencils for this. I do like the Woomer pencils. So that needs finishing, but that's all I've done in Fantasy Houses. Then we've got Galaxy Gals, which is especially made for alcohol markers. So this has been, why is there a hair in there? This has been, yeah, specially made. So the paper is alcohol marker friendly. Got a little bleed sheet in there, forgot about that. I'll put that away for later. And it's all Galaxy Gals. So this is one that I've coloured. I tried to keep the colour palette quite emo and quite, you know, duller than normal, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So that was fun. And like I said, it's especially for alcohol markers. So it's the perfect paper. It's perforated as well. It's one-sided, of course. There's another one that I've done. I adore the Galaxy hair. So yeah, that's that one. Did I do any others? Nope. Then we've got Lunar Colouring by Stratton Peterson. So this is very in keeping with, if you're into spiritualism, tarot, pagan, like whatever it is. I like Stratton's work. It does give me the feel of that. This is the one that I coloured. I really, really like it. I messed up on the moon a bit, but I really like it overall. I do tend to really love nautical images and that kind of colour palette of the red and the blue. So I really enjoyed colour in that. There's lots of moon phases and things. So I do enjoy Stratton Peterson's work. Then we've got Remember, which is another, I believe, Japanese book. It's by Yalza. And it's got, again, you know, the printed page on that side and the illustration on that side. I think that's quite common with Japanese, Korean books, things like that. I can't remember. I must have coloured something in it though. I feel like I did. I feel like he's carrying her over the threshold. Yeah, there we go. So this I did with alcohol markers, and this was the original, so completely different really. But yeah, I just enjoyed doing it. It was something different. I tried to create the shadow and the floor, and yeah, it was something different. I just like the book. I just like the artwork. It's very romantic, you know. So that's Remember by Yalza. Then we've got a couple of Karolina Kubikowska books. We've got Rising, which is a really big hardback, well-made book. And her illustrations are all this very grainy, sketchy style. And I know she's got her fans. It doesn't call to me specifically, this kind of artwork, but I know she's got her fans, and, you know, she's clearly a fantastic illustrator. So I coloured this nice little sparkly dress. I think I might not have coloured anything else, because like I said, if I'm reviewing a book that I'm not too bothered about, but I'm just wanting to review it for all of you, then I probably won't finish an entire page, because I don't want to like not waste my time, but I'd rather be colouring something I'm interested in, you know. This one, I've not even shown you what it's called, have I? This is the one that I did. So again, I've tried to emulate the original, which is this side with my colouring, and again, my flower, it's so much brighter than this flower, but I can't help it. But I think I did all right, you know. I think I did all right colouring the same as the original was. But with this book, you've got a few original artworks at the front in full colour, and then you've just got the pages, and they're single-sided, and they're kind of contained within a circular frame. So that's that. And that one is called Circle of Nature by Karolina Kubikowska. Again, the production quality is beautiful. It's got like this, it shines gold. The whole cover shines gold in the light. Stunning, absolutely stunning. So I'll get some more off the shelf. We are so very nearly there, guys. I know it's taking forever. I've got Artist's Archive, which is a mythographic book that was only available in the US, and somebody kindly sent it to me. There was also Artist's Vault, which I do have, and I can't seem to find it, so I've put it somewhere. I was probably using it to lean on when I was colouring something, and then I've put it somewhere. But anyway, so this is a collaboration between some mythographic artists, and it features all of their work. So this is the one that I coloured, and I really, really like it. Again, it's not that long ago since I coloured this, probably last winter, and I really like how the locket turned out. So there's that one. Who do we have in this book? Fabiana Atanasio, Joseph Kattenbang and Alessandra Fusi. So they are featured in this special edition hardback. Then we've got Colour Metrics. This is the Geometric Colour by Number Challenge. And I did in fact colour the owl, if I remember rightly. There we go. So I did this with Languo gel pens. I was doing a review of those gel pens, and they're very opaque and they're very fine. So they suit these kind of books very, very well. So Colour Metrics, it's just, you've got the thing at the bottom, the key at the bottom, and then you fill it in colour by number to create lots of different animals. So there's that one. Then we've got The Language of Flowers, another book by Stratton Peterson. I'm not sure if I've reviewed this yet. This is one that's been sat on my shelf for a while, and I keep forgetting about it. I've started to colour something there, clearly. Have I reviewed this one? I can't remember. Anyway, it's all about flowers and what they mean, so their meanings, and they're all quite realistic. It reminds me of Layla Dooley. Very realistic flowers. But it's not just flowers, there are things, other things within, different elements. So yeah, that's quite a nice book. Something I've got to be in the mood for though, I've got to say. Then we have Nature's Sweet Moments by Jane Madej. I love Jane Madej's work. She's very simple, but it's still really fun to colour. You know, her work is very, there's nothing intricate about it, but it's just beautiful. And this is the one that I coloured with alcohol markers because it's single-sided. Follow your heart. And I like the gradients. I've kept it just to red, purple and orange. And she's got some lovely, sweet little illustrations. There's another one I've done. This was a tutorial, how to colour hexagonal gems or how to colour gems, something like that. Favourite thing about this, apart from the sparkly, shiny gems, is the bee, because I like the texture that I've managed to create on the bee. So yeah, I'm happy with that one. Alcohol markers. And yeah, that's that one. Then we have have I got one? I think I've got one Rita Berman book. This is one of those unpopular opinions. I'm going to try and do that tag soon as well, by the way, unpopular opinions, because I'm not a fan of Rita Berman. There's nothing wrong with the artwork. She's a lovely lady. She's incredibly talented. I mean, look at that, beautiful. But I just find there's so many different elements on the page that I can't keep the cohesion that I want, and I get overwhelmed with it. I think that's what it is. You know, there's just, and sometimes you can't figure out how to colour the pages. You know, when you first look at them, they all look a bit weird. I've tried to colour some of these little vignettes, which I enjoyed doing. But there's a lot of pattern and there's a lot going on in these pages. And I mean, look, I can't figure out what's going on where here. So obviously we've got, this must be Great Wall of China. But then we've got mountains here and we've got sky and there's all wavy lines, and I just get really, really het up with it. But you know, when I see people's finished images of Rita Berman, I think, oh my God. And it makes me want to buy another Rita Berman book. But then I always get faced with that overwhelm. So it's just one of them things. Saying all that, I really love doing this page. I think it's because it was more simple. Yes, it's quite cluttered in the centre, but I could see the individual elements. And it was quite clear to me what was going on. There's a lot of space in the background. That's why I did the gradient in the background. And yeah, and I love the colours that I chose. So I am really, really pleased with this. I did try and make that egg really realistic, and I hope it is. Got the onions, the strawberry. But so I'm very, very pleased with how this turned out. And that's how I always feel about Rita Berman's illustrations when I see them on Instagram having been coloured. And I think, oh gosh, that's gorgeous. The coloured pages are gorgeous, but actually coming to colour one overwhelms me. Maybe that will change with time, because I go through stages with illustrators sometimes where I think they're my favourite and then the next minute I can't be bothered to colour them. So yeah, it's weird. But yeah, that's Rita Berman, Meine Reise durch Asien. So it's the Asia inspired book, which again, you know, I love Asian inspired stuff. So that's why I chose this book out of all of them. Next we have Crystal Vogels. So this is Osmalrice something. I'm not sure, it's German. I'm not sure what it says. Again, I have reviewed the books, so if you just type Crystal Vogels, she always has information on how to get started with colouring and colour wheels and colour theory and things like that. You do have to use Google Translate, obviously, unless you speak German. But then her artwork is very much Klara Markova-esque, but a whole lot easier to get hold of than Klara Markova books. But it's very within the same vein. So, beautiful, beautiful books. I'm sure I've coloured in it. I'm so sorry. And you know what? Because this video is so long, it's going to take me ages just to listen to it and edit all those coughs out. So I might just keep them in, and then you can shout at me in the comments, because I can't be doing with all that editing at the moment. I thought I'd coloured in. Oh, I've started a page. A little galaxy sort of mushroom going on, but I don't really like the... I don't really like how I've done the mushroom stalk, let's say. But yeah, so if you are a fan of Klara Markova and you can't get her books, Crystal Vogels. Then we've got Osmalrice Winter or Christmas, I'm not sure. It must be winter, I think. This has got little stories alongside the page, which obviously you can Google Translate. But just look at the artwork. Beautiful. Now, where's the one I've coloured? Because I did a tutorial in this book. Yeah, it's this one. So I did how to colour ice tutorial using this page. And I love the sky. It just, again, looks really cool. And you can see the sky colours reflected in the snow as well. And I've kept all the characters wearing the same colours. Purple, green, red. Nothing else. So, yeah, I really like that. I think the ice is quite effective as well. Then we have Osmo Freud, which is a different format. It's a long book, and it's got a soft touch cover to it. Let's have a look in this one. I'm not sure if I've done much in this one. Again, very all Crystal's work is very similar. So if you like this fantasy, cozy, charming illustration, you'll love her work. I'm so sure I've started something in this book. Yes, I thought I had. I've even put my colours down. That's very unusual for me. Normally I'm fly by the seat of my pants and then I forget what I've done. So very good, Claire. So this is a pansy page. I like colouring pansies. So these are purple pansies, and she's wearing like a whole outfit of pansies and a big leaf on the front. And then we've got these two here, which I've done some kind of dotted crown. Same with the bees, that's all dotted as well. So that's unusual how I've coloured this so far. Definitely want to finish it though, because it's not far from being finished and it's quite nice. I like the purple and the yellow together. So that's Osmo Freud. And then we have this one, which I know I haven't started yet. It's a big one. It's a big one. If I compare it to Osmo Reese, it is quite big, you see. So it's bigger even than like a Johanna Basford square book. And yeah, it's got that binding that lays flat. So you take the cover off and you can see it's got the flat binding. And again, it's just larger images from Crystal Vogels. I think this is a collection book. So from her autumn, winter, whatever single books, this is like a whole collection of her favourite pages from there. So if you wanted them on a little bit of a larger scale, maybe if you've, yeah, there's that mushroom that I coloured. So it is, yeah, it's a collaboration book, compilation book. Yeah, anyway, if you like this kind of art but you want something bigger, maybe if you get a lot of hand strain and stuff and you want to use markers and things, you can use this book because it's a lot larger format. Oh, I've started that one as well. See, I didn't think I'd actually done anything in this book. So we've got a palette, sunflowers. See, probably I started it and then thought, oh, there's too many elements. It's going to annoy me. And then gave up on it. But I like my little frog. He's cute. So yeah, there's that one. That is all of the books that I have from Crystal Vogels. Then we have something else. Mine Osmo World on Nature by Rayhan Oidashi. I'm so sorry, I cannot say names. And again, this has got the same sort of thing in the front. It's German, I believe it's German, and the artwork is beautiful. So it's just one of those books. You see, I've started that and not finished it. It's one of those books with really beautiful illustrations that's quite unique concepts. And it's just quite cozy and comfy. It's single-sided. Look at that, a whole little camping ground within a suitcase. And there's just some beautiful illustrations. I would definitely recommend this book, especially if you like colouring this kind of thing. I'm sure I've coloured something in here as well. Yeah, there it is. Little bus, little flower bus. So we're in the forest and it's coming to sell you flowers. I think that's what this is. I've forgotten to colour that. I always tend to forget to colour something on a page as well. You might notice I forgot to colour this little moon as well. But it's nice. I like the woodwork on this. Trying to find things that I like about everything that I do, so I'm not putting myself down too much. But anyway, I'll get a few more off the shelf and then we'll be done, because I'm onto the cozy colouring books now and I don't have many of those, so bear with. I've got my final books off the shelf, so we're nearly done. This is Argos 90s to 2000s edition. It's like the Argos catalogue, but if you were born in the late 80s like me, you will remember all of these different toys, perfumes, games and things that were in the catalogue that you used to go through and pick out what you wanted for Christmas. So I love this. I've coloured loads of it. These are what I've coloured of PlayStation games. Of course, there's Spyro, Grand Theft Auto, Tony Hawk, Tomb Raider, Sims 2, Theme Hospital. And then we've got like Care Bears and dolls and stuff. Then we've got games like Buckaroo, Operation, all those fun games. This one is a Sky Dancer. My sister had one and it used to belt us around the head, you know, because you just pull the string and this would just come up and fly, but land anywhere, and it was so heavy. So I've been knocked around the head a few times by a sky dancer. That's probably why I'm like I am. Blockbuster Video, and we've got Furbies and robot pets and all that kind of stuff. Then we've got the chocolate dispenser. I remember those being Dairy Milk. We've got Golden Coin Maker, Etch-a-Sketch, Badge Maker, Frosty Maker. Then we've got games and technology. So of course there's a PlayStation, a DS, the Motorola Razr flip phone, which I did own, iPod, computer, desktop computer. I did actually have a purple blow-up chair, which is why I coloured this purple. I also had a purple and orange lava lamp. I definitely had this as well. And I remember these tellies. I didn't have one because I wasn't really into Disney, but... And then I remember, obviously, the bang on the door stuff. So I love this book. It's nostalgia in a book for me. Then we've got Creepy Cute Creatures colouring book. Try saying that fast. By Gaynor Carradise. Gaynor Carradise is my favourite cosy colouring illustrator, I think. Yeah. Because everything just looks really sweet, and she does it by hand, you know. It's not none of this AI rubbish. So this is the one that I coloured just a few weeks ago, and I did the duck. Everything's coloured with alcohol marker and then some white paint pen, but I did the duck, showed it you, and you all loved it, and then I carried on the page, because at first I was just going to do a bit of a page, a bit of a illustration, and then I thought I'll carry it on because you all loved it. So yeah. And of course it's creepy cute, so it's a little bit spooky, but it's also sweet at the same time. So if you're not a horror fan, you could ease yourself in with this book. And then from Gaynor Carradise, we've got Comfy Fall. So these are quite large for comfy colouring books or cosy colouring books. Normally they're about this big, and this is a large format one. So that's also what I like about them. You can do a bit more, get a bit more space to colour. So this is a lovely one. Oh yeah, so this is one that I coloured, and again I based it all with alcohol marker, and it looked really flat and indistinctive and just, yeah, a bit meh. And then I used pencil and it brought it all to life. So I'm really pleased with this one, very pleased. Just shows you that even cosy colouring books don't have to be just simple childlike colouring. You can really make your own stamp on it and make it into an adult colouring page, if you will. So yeah, that's this one by, oh, I did this. So this is what I mean. I've clearly based this ready for pencil. So this is just based with alcohol, completely solid blends. Now it's ready for pencil to really bring it out. So this is what it looks like based. I must not forget to do that one. So that's Comfy Fall. And then again from Gaynor Carradise, we have Snuggly Winter. I want to get all of her books because I think she's a really, really good cosy colouring artist. And she's got a name and she's actually a person, you know. It's not like these Coco Wyo books and you think, who has actually drawn these? Clearly I've not coloured in this one yet, but I'm probably waiting for winter. So yeah, there's some really nice cosy illustrations in there. Then we have a couple of books by Creative Paula, who is a YouTuber and a lovely lady. So we've got Loved, and they're quite thick, these books. She's put a lot of illustrations in, and again she does them by hand. And there's one that I coloured for my cozy colouring tips and tricks video #1 which is the embroidery look. So completely done with markers. You can create a look like patchwork embroidery. This one, I just wanted to test some gel pens out, so you can see they're nice and glittery, but there's nothing particularly special about them. They're quite flat. I just wanted to test some gel pens. This was another one of the cozy colouring techniques, was how to create raindrops. So that's why it's not all been coloured in. And then we have It's the Little Things colouring book. Again, Creative Paula. Really nice, very simple ones. Probably not as detailed as Gaynor Carradise, but sometimes you just want a simple one, don't you? So you can do something like this. So this is where the glitter tutorial came from that you saw on the glitter shoes in the No Place Like homepage. So there is a tutorial for this, how to colour glitter with just alcohol markers and white pens. So again, another page that I really enjoyed doing, and I always thought that I didn't like cozy colouring. It was too basic, too childlike, but you know what, you can really let yourself go an experiment and just have fun colouring with these cozy colouring books. So this was another cozy colouring technique of how to create a neon glow. So they're all on the channel if you want to follow, create your own. That's Cozy Forest by Creative Paula. Lots of little forestry illustrations there. Then we have the Bobby Goods Cozy Colouring and Drawing, and this is kind of like a folder style colouring book. So you open it up, and on this side you've got how to show you how to colour, how to draw like Bobby Goods. Can you tell I'm losing my mind in this video? So this shows you how to draw like she does, right? And then this side is some colouring pages. So this is like going upwards. This one goes outwards like a normal book. This one goes upwards like a flip book. So there's even places for you to draw your own bits on. So yeah, that's not one I've touched yet, because I'm not waiting to do, I just haven't got around to it yet. But I've got the Bobby Goods Oh Hoo Hoo limited edition marker set, and I wanted to do something with this book. But again, it's just been a bit of a crazy time, so just remembering to do things. This is Christmas Creeps. It was a gift sent to me. I bet there's a little page in here somewhere. Yeah, so it was a gift from Sharon, bless her. Sharon's a really lovely friend that I've made throughout this community. And yeah, Christmas Creeps. I think there may be some AI going on in the book, which, you know, I don't agree with. But it was a gift, and I love Sharon. Look at that, Michael Myers as Elf. It says Amy Gray, so it says it's a person. But I'm just getting AI from it. I don't know why. Unless it's not AI and it's just an AI cover that's throwing me off. But anyway, Christmas Creeps. Oh yeah, I don't know why that's in with those, but back to Bobby Goods and cozy colouring. How to draw super cute things. It's not a colouring book. It's a bigger version of how to draw like Bobby Goods. So it's like a drawing book. And then for the last two books of this review, it's not even a review, it's a video, Claire. We've got a Coco Wyo, because this was bought before I knew about the controversy with Coco Wyo, so it's the only one I have. And you know, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a nice illustration, but the paper's not great for alcohol markers. It seems to really drink your alcohol markers. So anyway, this is the one I coloured, and I created some fur texture with alcohol markers just by using the colourless blender on the reindeer there. Oh, there's another one. I've coloured a few in this one. Is it gone? There we go. So Santa's doing the ironing. Quite fun. And then there's that one. We're having a little story time with all of the animals. So yeah, I think cozy colouring is fantastic. You know, it's not... I'd never enjoy it as much as I do my adult colouring books and my pencils, but I think it's just a lot of fun and it's a lot of relaxation. This was my most recent colouring tips and techniques for cozy colouring. So this was Rainbow Outline, and then Blueprint, and then Pixel. So all of those are in my latest cozy colouring techniques books. This is called Snug Life by Creative Mile Publishing. My Art Story and Theodora Opria, and it's really nice. The paper's fantastic, the seams are really nice, you know, because these cozy colouring books can get quite repetitive, but I quite like the seams in this one, Snug Life. So there you go. I think everything else on my shelf now is either how to draw books or prompt books. You know, like art prompt books. Oh, no, wait, I can see one more. Hang on a second. This is my mandala colour book that the cover has fallen off of. So I've done loads in here because this is how anxious I was. So there's one. I love the colour choices that I've made in these mandalas. I'm not going to be able to speak for about a week after this video. Hope you're happy. Again, really nice. I tried to keep the colour choices cohesive, limited. That's very Irish, green and gold. I love those colours together. And there's that one, which I think I got the colours off of that from an old VHS, like maybe like a Philips videotape or something. And there's that one that's like the berries, you know how, what do you call them? Raspberries and blackberries, but they're sweets. Anyway, that's where I got that palette from. And there's this one, which is a very dull and moody palette. All these stickers are for ones that I want to do in the future, so I don't have to look and find one when I'm feeling anxious. I can just go to a certain page and realise that I've chosen. There's a nice light delicate one. This one. I like those colours. Again, lots of pink and green. That's quite nice and calming. That's a very harmonious palette, that one. Love this one. I think all the little centres of flowers just pop like jewels. Is that it? Yes, I think it is. So this is called 100 Creaties Mandala, and it is a circular book, and the cover falls off really easily, so that's why there's no cover on it. But that definitely is the end of my colouring book collection, apart from the ones that I can't seem to find. That's my current collection. I hope that you've enjoyed the video. I know it's been really long and my voice just must have become a monotonous drone. So I hope I didn't say too much. I hope I didn't cough too much or sniff too much or make mouth noises, because I always get comments from trolls about that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments. I love to hear from you, and I will see you soon on Colour with Claire.